40? Hims can help. Get started at hims.com/joy. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy.
Lowe's knows how to help make your Super Bowl 59 party a touchdown. Let us help you prep your home to host with top brands like Charbroil, Blackstone, and LG, so you can be the MVP of game day. Plus, use the Lowe's app to find what you need for a seamless shopping run. Or huddle up with our Lowe's Red Vest associates to help make all your game time hosting decisions.
Sports betting apps are not created equal. Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here to talk about the Sport Trade advantage. With higher payouts, Sport Trade is the ultimate sports betting experience. Sport Trade is the first sports betting app that gives you the option to see the odds expressed as probabilities, and it's changing in-game betting forever. If it's easier to understand 52% probability of winning versus minus 108 odds, then Sport Trade is for you. With this percent odds feature, cashing out now makes much more sense. As the win probability changes, so does the value of your bet. And if you're an experienced bettor and prefer American odds, you'll get pricing closer to minus 106 versus the normal minus 110, coupled with instant in-play betting. No more spinny wheels. So download Sport Trade today to see the difference and beat the book. Use promo code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet you place in your first week. Terms apply.
Sport Trade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful DC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa! And outrun a few!
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now, Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer's suggested retail price. Manufacturer's suggested retail price excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it. All right, everybody, it's Thursday here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. He'll be back as soon as he can. Keon Rose is in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And, boy, it's kind of a bummer, but it shouldn't be that big of a bummer. It's kind of a bummer. Bob Uecker passed away today at the age of 90. And that's, he's 90.
90, yeah. But
So-
still sad to see a legend go, you know.
Everybody acts like he's like, oh, he had so many good years left. No, he didn't. He was 90.
He's 90.
I mean, maybe you do have good years after 90. Individual results may vary, but when I see somebody get to 90, I'm like, good for you, man. Well done. Mission accomplished, right? I don't know what I'm going to get to, but I'm pretty sure it ain't going to be 90.
Yeah, I have just a hunch that's probably not going to be me either.
No, there's too many foods that I like, and not giving them up. Not giving them up.
Also, a few drinks. You know.
Yeah, a few of the drinks, and then here's the thing: everybody's like, "Oh my God, they're saying that alcohol gives you cancer, and doesn't matter how much you drink." Blah, 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 blah. Damage is done.
Yeah, it's.
I can't unring that bell, but okay, maybe for the future, take it easy. But what did they say about eggs? Eggs, oh, they'll kill you. Oh, eggs are great for you. Eggs will kill you. Oh, they're great for you. Milk is going to kill you. Milk is great for you. Why are you drinking more milk? It's like, God damn, it's confusing.
Chocolate's great for you. Chocolate's going to kill you. Chocolate's great for you. Wine will kill you. Like there's a few foods that just
Yeah. So, they come in at
in
me
the river
with
on the bank.
all alcohol is evil. Just wait a week. Just wait a week.
We'll come back around.
We're fine. Everything is fine. How are you? 888-368-1580. Hefty Lefty says, yeah, too much of anything will kill you. Yeah. You know what killed Bob Uecker? Too many years. He had too many.
90 of them specifically.
And a little bit of small cell cancer in his lungs. That'll do it.
Yeah.
But again, 90. He lived to be 90, so that's not bad. Here's a man who knows better than anybody. Berg says, yeah, everything ultimately will kill us.
Yeah.
Well, not everything, Berg. Anything ultimately will kill you.
Anything can kill you. But yeah.
Yeah, not everything. I don't think anybody's ever been killed by a butterfly. Well, you know what, though? What if a butterfly came fluttering in and got in your eye while you were driving and then you drove off the road and crashed into a tree?
Look, people have been on this planet too long. Everyone has been killed by something.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's been killed by, like, there's everything in the world has killed at least one person. That's what I'm trying to say.
Berg, okay, how about this, though? On this date in big Georgia sports history, which I have in my hand right here to do later, will not kill me. It will not kill you. It's just a piece of paper sitting here. I'm going to put it right down there. It's not going to kill us. Unless it gets caught on fire, there's a chance. You're right. There's a chance.
There's a chance.
Anything and everything.
Or if the on date in the on this date in big Georgia sports history is so shocking to somebody that
I've already read it. It's not. Somebody has a heart attack.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
I think it's more you couldn't believe it wasn't butter. You ate that like a son of a bitch. So Berg, everything ultimately could kill you. How's that? Is that a better way of putting it? That'd be nice. Let's see here. Yeah, Moist One, you're right. He had small cell lung cancer. I don't understand the distinction. I didn't know there were different size cells. Small cells, big cells. He says, gunned down in his prime, damn it. No, that was just cancer. Wilbur says, hey, can you ask Pro Dog what who he's taking, Baltimore or Buffalo? Why would I ask Pro Dog this? Was this left over from your show?
No,
from the betting show?
Pro Dog hadn't been texting in, so I don't know what that has to do with anything.
What the hell is this coming from, Wilbur? Hefty Lefty says, there are poisonous butterflies. No, there's not. There's no poisonous butterflies. I haven't heard of that. What do you mean, like poisonous if I eat them?
There is, by the way, a large cell lung cancer. I looked it up.
Small cell, large cell. So it's like, are we going to supersize this cancer?
The small cell lung cancer is the cells are literally smaller, but they multiply faster, so it grows more quickly. It's more aggressive. The large cell lung cancer takes its time, but when it's done,
so small cells the worse.
Yeah.
Ooh. So I gotta tell you, this show has caused Keon and I's Google food to be outrageously good. Because while he did that, I Googled the poisonous butterflies. Turns out there are.
Oh my God.
The monarch is a poisonous butterfly.
That's like the most popular one.
Yeah. I mean, you just don't eat it.
Okay.
If you eat it, that's bad for you. It's bad for you. The Atala butterfly, pipevine swallowtail, blue tiger, the tiger, the African swallowtail, the Heliconian. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of them. So I had no idea. Hefty Lefty says, what? Cancer has guns now? Second Amendment has gone too far. That would be the thing. He's like, all right, the bad news is you have cancer. The good news is we have a cure. The bad news is we have to shoot you just right. Don't move. Oh, no. Baker's Cocky Hen says they can't kill you, but monarch butterflies are poisonous if eaten. So maybe if you made a concentrated serum, well, that's not the same as the butterfly itself coming up and just knocking you off.
Yeah, like when you say a poisonous butterfly, I'm thinking something that can like sting you somehow. Or
if I overeat enough mayonnaise, I'm a dead man. So I mean, listen,
water poisoning is real. If you drink too much water, you'll just die.
But in a normal situation,
yeah.
So what I'm trying to tell you is Bob Uecker's dead. That's it.
That is the point.
That's pretty much the point. Also, David Lynch, the dude that did Twin Peaks, died.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
He died of death. He was only 78. Bob Uecker looked better than David Lynch when he died. Chief Skull says, afternoon, gentlemen. Water is good for you, but you drink too much, it can kill you. That's what Keon just said. Yeah. So when everybody's like, make sure you're drinking lots of water, you're trying to kill me. Yeah. What's wrong with you?
Back off.
How about some whiskey instead? Wilbur says, Jeffrey, so when you're on that episode of Naked and Afraid, don't eat monarch butterflies, regardless of how hungry you are. I would never be on that show. I would never be on Naked and Afraid.
Show seems awful. And I mean to be on. I mean,
Can I just tell you, that Naked and Afraid show, right? They blur everything out, right? And they run around all naked, right?
Mhm.
And then just give them, some shorts and a tank top and blur them out. So they don't have to be so damn cold. I'll believe you if you tell me they're naked. I can see if they're afraid on their face.
That's fair. I
don't know.
I would just watch the version of that show called Afraid. I don't need them to be naked.
Yeah.
I don't know what being naked adds to the experience there.
You seen that show Extraction? Where here's what it is: your family is in a command center, and you're out wandering around in the wilderness, and they can hear you, and then they get to make the final decision. Is if okay, go get them, save their life, extract them. And I'd be like, that would be the worst decision any of my siblings ever made, to put me in charge of touching a button that gets them saved from a bear. Because I'd just be sitting there thinking the whole thing is funny. Extract me. No,
I'm not going to let it get to you, but
no.
Let's see how close.
I feel like you could fight that. It's a small bear. It's not like a grizzly bear. Come on now. Hefty Lefty says, how dare you question the validity of a random fact that I text in, Jeffrey? Random, useless facts. It's all I'm good for. Well, I questioned it, and you were right. So you have nothing to worry about on this one. Pro Dog says, I'm taking the team that is in this city that starts with the letter B. That's pretty good, man. The question is, which team, Buffalo or the Ravens? Is it the Bills or the Ravens? In Buffalo or Baltimore? Goddamn, Pro Dog. That was just classic.
Well played.
Nicely done. Baker's Cocky Hen says, that spinoff show, Naked and Horny, way better. I don't think that's a thing. Ringless Joe says, yesterday I tried to be the Rodgers Defense Force. Oh, Jesus Christ. Are you bringing this up again?
Nobody asked you to do that.
My God.
Not even Aaron Rodgers.
If I read this entire text, can you drop it, please? I'm going to read this entire text just so Ringless Joe drops it. And he's like, oh, Aaron Rodgers is elite. See, here's the thing. We don't even care how wrong you are enough to argue with you. We were like, we don't want to talk about
that's saying a lot. I'll argue with anything.
You will.
Yeah, honestly, I'm over it. I'm
Keon will shout at you for a straight 20 minutes if I let him. But on this one, we're both like,
you can have it.
No, yeah,
you can have it. It's really not worth it.
So, all right, Ringless Joe, here's what he has to say about Aaron Rodgers. He says, yeah, here's the deal. I didn't have the statistics I wanted to find to back it up, but I found them. In the second half of 2024, Rodgers simply got better. In that time, Rodgers recorded his first 300-plus yard outing with the team. In the first 8 games of the year, Rodgers didn't have one game with 3 or more touchdown passes. Meanwhile, his final 9 saw him have 3 of those games. Okay.
Neat.
So what are you trying to, don't see an elite quarterback in that, what you just said. I see Aaron Rodgers tried a little bit harder, maybe, had a little bit better success sporadically. 3 out of those 9 games, he did a thing, probably against weaker opponents anyway. And I'm not even saying that they won those games. So, okay.
Like, if that's the hill you're willing to die on, I know what I saw. And I'll just let that stand how it is. Yeah.
Obviously, I do not have an erection for Aaron Rodgers, but that didn't even make anything tingle down there. You didn't even make anything tingle down there. Every now and then you get a little tingle, tingly, nothing. 0% movement or interest in my crotchal region for what you just said, Ringless Joe.
In fact, anti-tingle. I don't know how that's possible, but that's what happened.
things are starting to go back inside me.
Yeah.
Pickle D says, even Mr. Wilbur can see that Aaron Rodgers is not elite.
Oh my.
You are correct. You are correct. But I want to get back to Bob Uecker. I mean, my God, that guy was awesome. That guy was awesome. He was always funny. He was a ball player. He's got a World Series ring. He was a comedian who used to go on the same stages as Don Rickles. And then, he ended up being a broadcaster. And across the way, the self-deprecating humor, it gets old with some people. But, man, he just nailed it. This guy in comedy, since he couldn't do it in baseball, hit home runs left and right. I mean, he was genuinely funny. And, so he's like, he's in the Hall of Fame as a broadcaster. And he says, I still feel like I should be in the Hall of Fame as a player. No, Bob.
No, Bob.
But yeah, he's, it's a life well lived right there. And, he was even recently trying to get back into the booth. There's nothing he loved more than calling baseball for his Brewers. But, it wasn't always just jokes with him. He would get downright serious. And he says, when the season was serious, he says, I was serious. But there were times when it did start to sound like Major League. It did start to sound like that character from Major League where he was just screwing around all the time. He's like, yeah, because, there were some great games and I'd be very serious. And then there were some horrible games and we had to do something.
Yeah. And I, as if you've ever had to listen to a baseball season with a horrible team, nothing is worse than the broadcaster, the hometown broadcaster, essentially treating every game like Game 7 of the World Series, but you're 25 games below 500.
Yeah.
That is like, it's not fun. It's not fun for anybody. It can't be fun for the broadcaster. It certainly isn't fun to listen to. That's definitely better.
Just, be honest. Be honest with where you are with your team. So I love this line. He says, back in the beginning, I signed with the Milwaukee Braves for $3,000. That bothered my dad at the time because he didn't have that kind of dough. But eventually he scraped it up.
Jeez.
It's just classic.
Oh, man.
Classic. He says, when I came up the bat with 3 men on and 2 outs in the 9th, I looked at the other team's dugout. They were already in street clothes. Such a good lines. 888-368-1580. Hefty Lefty says, yeah, he hosted the Newlywed Game. No, that was Bob Eubanks. Shut up, Hefty. Dodger Danny says, funeral tomorrow. Whitney Murphy, 11. Funeral tomorrow, 3 p.m. Where? I feel like that is not for us. I feel like that text was not for us. Dodger Danny is a chaplain. I'm not making that up.
Oh no!
I feel like he was telling somebody else. Oh, hey, funeral tomorrow. Whitney Murphy, 11. Funeral where? 3 p.m. Where? Danny, wrong number, man. Unless we all, do you want to go to a funeral? I guess we could.
Not particularly.
Is there snacks?
Is there snacks? That's a great question.
No, you got to understand something. When I die, when I have my funeral, if we don't have like balloons and hot dogs and like a live remote broadcast, nobody's showing up. Nobody's showing up unless there's and then giveaways. Yeah, some free food and giveaways just to get anybody to my event.
Yeah, got some hats for you guys.
Yeah, a little swag.
Yeah.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, Aaron Rodgers was attractive to your wife at one point, if I recall. I'm guessing his personality has ruined that for most women by now. Yes, his personality ruined it for her, much like mine has. I don't know. Anyway, so Bob Uecker, 90. Good job. Good job. I mean, what's your target? What do you think you can get to?
What do I think I can get to? Like if I get to like 70, I'll be shocked.
I used to think that, and then as I'm getting older, I'm like, you know what? I think 70 is an easily attainable number.
Okay.
It's everything after that is just bonus. I don't know I'm getting to the point where I think in 75 is realistic.
Okay. Yeah.
After that, who knows?
70 feels a long way for me just because it would be my entire lifespan up to this point again. and that already feels like a long time. So,
must be nice. I don't have that much time left. I don't know. The sands have gone through the hourglass over here, man. So I'm just hoping for good years, nice years.
Just nice years.
Not the crappy ones you always see people have at the end. Wouldn't that be nice? Kiss the Cook says, wait, we're invited to a Blender Remote podcast funeral? Okay, first off, take the word podcast out. I don't do podcast. I don't know if it even be broadcast. You're right. Nobody's coming to this. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. You're not required. And everybody's coming up to my grieving wife. Where do we put our slip in for the giveaways? What? Yeah. The real joke there was assuming she'd be crying.
Oh no.
I don't know.
Are we giving away ASU tickets?
She might just rip off a ticket and go, here you go. She might have the raffle all set up. Yeah.
I got to pay for the funeral somehow.
Damn right. Baker's Cocky Hen says, I'll be there for the services. 4800 East Indian School per Google. You looked up Whitney Murphy's funeral and found it? Oh, I should have never read that name out loud. I didn't know what was going on when he texted that in.
That's the kind you have to pre-read just because it's an accident.
Whitney Murphy is a funeral home. It's a place. Oh, okay.
So you're not even going to know the name of the person if you show up to that. That's going to be weird. Don't do that.
Remember the movie Wedding Crashers? Kind of cute. Funeral Crashers? Not cute.
At all.
Not cute
in any way.
Last Optimist says, my wife wants a open bar wake for her funeral. Must be Irish. That's not uncommon at all. Boy, the wake, they'd take your carcass, put it on the table, and then everybody be standing around having drinks and crackers going, well, he looks like crap. Yeah, no, let's maybe take him in now. And that was the way those things would start, It would start and finish that way. They'd be on both ends. So, yeah, Last Optimist, your wife must be Irish. All right, listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, we got basketball to talk about. We got a bunch of random sports stuff. We got a ton of NFL. So come on back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. This update brought to you by Sport Trade. Download the Sport Trade app and use code VSIN to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
NBA, the Phoenix Suns back in action tonight. They're in Washington to take on the Wizards. The Suns are coming off a loss in Atlanta to the Hawks on Tuesday night that snapped their 3-game win streak. They are 19-20 on the season, facing a Washington team with just 6 wins on the year. The Suns are an 11.5-point road favorite tonight, minus 750 on the money line. Washington at plus 475, and the over-under total is at 231.5. And in college basketball Saturday, Arizona State will be on the road to face Cincinnati. The Arizona Wildcats also on the road to face Texas Tech. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
It went in. The People's Open is back. See the PGA Tour's best tee it up at the 2025 WM Phoenix Open, February 3rd through the 9th at TPC Scottsdale. Get tournament and ticket info at WMPhoenixOpen.com. WMPhoenixOpen.com.
Sports betting apps are not created equal. Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here to talk about the Sport Trade advantage. With higher payouts, Sport Trade is the ultimate sports betting experience. Sport Trade is the first sports betting app that gives you the option to see the odds expressed as probabilities, and it's changing in-game betting forever. If it's easier to understand 52% probability of winning versus minus 108 odds, then Sport Trade is for you. With this percent odds feature, cashing out now makes much more sense. As the win probability changes, so does the value of your bet. And if you're an experienced bettor and prefer American odds, you'll get pricing closer to minus 106 versus the normal minus 110, coupled with instant in-play betting. No more spinny wheels. So download Sport Trade today to see the difference and beat the book. Use promo code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet you place in your first week. Terms apply.
Sport Trade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams winter sale and get 30% off paints and stains January 17th through the 27th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Hey there, everybody. Rich Eisen letting you know we're here every day for 3 hours, and we feel we're pretty unique. We talk to sports stars fresh off the field, making news. We're also talking to celebrities, pop culture, sports talk, real life talk, and one thing that I'm particularly proud of, we're not annoying. So, wait a minute. I'm being told we can be sometimes. Now's not the time to talk about it.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at 1 p.m. on 1580, The Fanatic.
Today, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Silly Wabbit says, I guess Fanatic has a new sponsor there in Whitney and Murphy Funeral Home. Very appropriate for most of the listeners, especially the fourth dimension. Yeah, and listen, I told you, we'll take money wherever we can get it. Don't care where it comes from. We will absolutely 100% sell out. All you got to do is ask. Rainy City Bitch Pigeon says, I'd like to welcome you to the services for Jeffrey O'Brien, and I'd like to personally thank both of you for coming. Please feel free to bid on any of the silent auction items available. They were Jeffrey's personal possessions. There's a nice staple over there and a harpoon for spearfishing. And then don't forget to enter your raffle ticket for the grand prize. Yeah, if it's not like that, I'd be shocked. I'd be very shocked.
You have to come back to life to fix it if it's not like that.
Oh, if only that was possible. So, all right. I don't know what to make of GCU anymore. I don't know what to make of them. We're rooting for them. We love them. But, man, they've been set up like, hey, here's an easy win. And then all of a sudden, no, it's not. I don't know what to make of GCU right now. So maybe you can give me a little insight into what's going on. Coming up tonight, 7 p.m., Grand Canyon University is hosting Abilene Christian. Now, of course, GCU is heavily favored, but I've seen that movie before.
We all have, yeah.
So, help me understand.
Yeah, I mean, Abilene Christian's really been struggling, like more so than some of the other teams in the Western Athletic Conference. You know, GCU's played some other schools where like it's just hard to figure out who's going to separate themselves in this conference at this point right now. You hope the Lopes get it together. You hope the Lopes can go back to being the dominant force in this conference that they were. But they're going to need to play a whole lot more consistently. They're going to need to shoot the basketball better. They're going to need to be, aggressive, especially Tyon Grant Foster when it comes to going to the basket rather than settling for jump shots. But you're playing a team in Abilene Christian where you should be able to just do those things if you want to. Like that's the impose your will team. If they're much better than them. But like you said, like we've seen this play out this way before. Yeah, I'm going to pick GCU to win the game, but I don't have the same confidence where I could say, yeah, GCU is going to beat these guys, and then they go out and beat those guys. So I hope I'm right.
Well, Grand Canyon, they beat SLU, Ust, Brewery, and Sioux, but they lost to Uvu.
That pretty much explains it. Yeah, Abilene Christian, they are currently on a 4-game losing streak right now. They haven't won a single conference game so far. They're second to last in the conference where, GCU was up top before, but obviously with that last loss, they've kind of dropped back down to the middle of the pack. They're fourth best in the conference. So you'd think that you're playing the second worst team in the conference. That ought to be the kicker there. But we've talked about GCU having get right games where they didn't get right. So they've just got to play up to their potential. They're not doing that. And that's the biggest issue so far.
Could and should. We shall see what happens tonight here on 1580, The Fanatic. Also, this afternoon, you've got the Phoenix Suns playing your Washington Wizards.
They should kill. They should kill.
Should. Yeah. You
That's
guys,
another should. Yeah.
wow. Have 6 wins and 32 losses this season.
They're bad. They're real bad.
See what's the deal there. Marvin Bagley Jr. the third, he's out. Malcolm Brogdon, he's out. Sadiq Bey is out. Is that what's wrong with your team, or is it just your team is really bad?
No, it's just the team is really bad. They drafted a lot of young players this year and last year, and they're playing a lot of minutes. I mean, you're obviously getting a lot of big minutes from Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma, who are great scorers who refuse to play defense at all. So that's kind of a thing. And like the rookies are playing well. Like Bub Carrington's having a really good season.
Did you say Bub?
Yeah.
There's a guy out there named Bub, and I didn't know about it.
Bub Carrington. Yeah.
He's now one of my favorite new players. Is
he
a rookie?
He's a rookie. Yeah.
I love Bub.
He's really cool. I like
What's
him.
up, Bub?
And then the guy that's leading the rookie of the year race right now, the center, the other Frenchman, Alex Sarr. He's no Wemby, but he's real good too. And I like him, but like they talked about it, sometimes between games where a college basketball season is, somewhere in the ballpark of 30 games. And you could tell they're hitting the rookie wall. They're not able to maintain their energy level for as many minutes for this many games. And they're looking at the end of the season going, wow, there's how many of these left? So like I expect them to be bad. They've played a lot of basketball in the last 12 days, 7 games in 12 days. I expect the Suns to be much better than this team, but I also don't trust the Suns. So
well, listen, at least you get to watch somebody named Bub.
Yeah.
Bub is good.
And he's a good player.
I'm just really excited about Bub. What's his last name again?
Carrington.
Bub Carrington. That sounds like a completely made up name, doesn't it?
And yet it's a real guy.
Like something from a 1980s soap opera. I don't know. All right. So that's 5 p.m. And hopefully, listen, go GCU, go Suns. We don't know what to make you right now, but we're pulling for you. 888-368-1580. So I guess yesterday there was a college game going on, and it was it's crunch time. Oh my God. It's like the pivotal point in the game. And then all of a sudden this little kid just running around down the court. Cutest little kid. He's a little toddler. Like, I don't know what he was, 2, 3. And he was running around, and the ref tried to grab him. He's like, he thought it was just all fun and games. And they're like, get the hell off the court, kid. And so then Truth Harris was like, I've got this. Boop, grabs the kid. Little kid's legs are going. It probably scared the bleep out of him, because keep in mind, a toddler is this big, a loaf of bread tall. And then all of a sudden, a 6.5 foot to 7 foot person grabs you under your arms and hoists you up. You are now higher in the air than you've ever been. Your parents don't pick you up that high. He's like, oh, wow, And so Truth Harris was like, please don't give us a technical. That's all. And they didn't. They didn't get a technical for delay of game, because it was one of the crowd of the home team, right? So, so they were. That was cute. But probably, that kid is now afraid of heights.
You'd think so. Because that's a tall person.
Just be glad it wasn't Dennis Rodman out there. I don't. God, he would have punted the kid. That kid would have cleared the uprights.
Maybe, or just like seeing all of the piercings and tattoos might have just scared the kid.
Oh, geez. Then, speaking of little kids, there was this viral moment, right? There's this little kid there, and she's wearing her game jersey. She's wearing her jersey, and had a sign up said, "Hey, I'd love to swap jerseys with Wembanyama." And Wembanyama saw that, and he's like, "Aw." So he goes over there, and they swap jerseys, and they're holding up their jerseys, and this little girl's just down here. And it was like, oh, what a great moment. So next day, it ends up on sale for $10,000.
Wow.
I don't think the child had anything to do with it.
I don't think the child had anything to do with that either.
When I went back and I saw the video of the jersey swap, there was a father involved, posing them, doing like very almost professional. You know what I mean? Like this was a setup. This had nothing to do with the kid. it was all a ploy by the parental unit or whoever that was to have it all ready on sale. And so Wembanyama saw this and he just posted a frowny face. Like it made him sad.
Yeah, because like you're trying to have like legitimate interactions with fans. Like that's the kind of stuff that, you know, like when people become professional athletes, yeah, you want to be great on the court, but off the court, that's the kind of stuff you imagine doing too. And then here's somebody that just took that moment and said, and it cost $10,000.
I say the fix was in from the beginning, because here's the thing. You get that jersey and the family's like, wow, what an amazing moment for our child. And then, it's a family heirloom now. It is something that child will hold on to along with the memory of that night for the rest of her life, right? So usually then, you know, you look around at your life, you're like, geez, we're getting tough times here. We got to do something. Weeks later, months later, years later, that happens where the family might benefit from this. You're like, you have to. Like, we hate to do it, but that's our only hope.
Yeah.
When it goes on auction the very next day,
there's
that had nothing to do with the child, and that bastard son of a bitch, parental person, I don't even know who it was to her, who did already had this in mind.
Yeah, from the beginning. That's which just feels really cynical and gross.
I agree. Moist One says Wemby should sell her jersey. Yeah, for whatever price it can get for charity, even if it's $8. It's like, there you go. How do you feel? I don't think it's the child's fault.
It's absolutely not. I mean, this kid's little. She couldn't be more than 6. It doesn't look like.
I don't know. 6 maybe.
Yeah,
6.
There's no 6-year-old that's like, yeah, I'm going to sell this jersey for money.
So Golden Auction House has this thing. Starting bid $10,000. That's just dirty.
That's terrible.
That's just gross. Just gross. I feel bad for the child. And I feel bad for Wembanyama because it's like one of those moments now. Everyone who asks him for an autograph going forward, he's going to give a look to.
Like
he's now just been jaded.
And you, Brutus? Yeah.
Let's. Can I have your shoes? No. You're just going to put it on auction. Can I have your sweatband? No. Just blew it for everyone else. Damn.
Because some greedy dad just had to do that. Because like when I was a kid, like I was 6. Like Jordan was my favorite player. You couldn't have separated me from a Jordan jersey if I'd gotten one of those. Like that's how kids are.
Keon would have had that thing under his arm and running for the Canadian border.
Yeah.
If his dad came after him for that.
That's the kind of thing you get that you fall asleep with it. You're not even that doesn't go in the closet. No.
Kiss the Cook says it's crap like that makes it difficult for honest collectors to get signatures of sports memorabilia. Well, even honest collectors start to wear on these celebrities because everybody is can you sign this? Yeah, sure. And they go, and this? Okay. And this? Like, oh, come on, man. Because now it's like this guy's just selling these things.
Yeah. And a lot of athletes are like, look, I could have just signed it and sold it myself.
Right.
I'm not trying to give it to you for that. But at least honest collectors, for the most part, tend to be pretty upfront about it. They're like, this is what I want to do. Where if you're deceitful about it, now they don't even have that space where they can say, all right, today's the day I'm not going to really pay too much attention to the collectors. Now I've got to start ignoring the kids. Also, that feels
you can't
weird.
ignore the kids, but although I would be sure that some kids have been set up to go get that signed.
Oh yeah, that has to have happened.
I'll give you $10 if he signs this for you. Okay, ding 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 ding. But you know what? Just to be safe, that would be me. If I were a famous guy coming out, like and everybody, first I'd say me signing this is probably just going to devalue this. But if you want it, I'll do it for you. But I would be scoping out, all right, where's the legits, the kids? When you see somebody with one thing, just one thing, they're legit. And, just be simple. Have your Sharpie, and anybody who you can tell when it's somebody who's like 55 years old, it's got an arm full of stuff. You're like, what did you do? Just clean out your storage? No, you're professional. No, I ain't signing yours. Nothing personal. I'll sign one thing for you. I'll even do that. I'll sign one thing for you. Pick the one thing because I ain't signing more than one thing.
Yeah.
Everybody gets one. Except for the kids. I won't tell you anyone that. Quiet Cannon says, is Randy in traction or is he in a cast? What's up with him? Hopefully it's not classified information, but we'd like to know. I sent him a message yesterday. I don't know if he responded. I don't know if he wanted me to tell you all that, but he's going to be fine. He just has to stay off his feet for a while and stop running himself over with cars.
Yeah, which I think medically sound advice.
You don't think you need that on an order? But he got that on an order. So just the tip says, you're asking, is GCU problems source there? It ain't the players. He says, I'll listen to the game tonight for sure. Well, you know what he's alluding to then.
Are you suggesting that it is the coaching, sir? I mean, you say it's not the players, but like Tyon Grant Foster is having like the worst season that he could possibly be having right now. I don't know how you put that on Coach Drew. This is a 3-point shooting team. It's not shooting the three very well. Like that's what they were put together to do. That is what they were recruited and transfer portal acquired to do.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm ready to say that the coach is the issue here.
The coach that's taken that team to the NCAA tournament 2 out of the last 3 years is. I have trouble blaming that guy.
But you know what's going to happen? He's going to take blame. He's going to say, I need to coach better. I need to have these guys ready. And we haven't been there, and that's on me. Buck stops here. Because that's exactly what he says as a coach, and that's what you should say. But as people who are on the outside looking in, it's not the coach. It's not the coach. He also says, just the tip, that he had Gene Michael do our Little League, host a league in banquet in 1968. He signed my glove, and you couldn't pry it from my cold, dead fingers.
Yeah, which is why we know that this kid, this was not this kid's idea.
Well,
and I hope that kid,
you know what? What's heartbreaking is if the kid was like, it was just taken from her.
Yeah.
And she did want it. And she did want to like, oh, no. And then now she's lost it. Oh,
yeah, that's the part that like I'm imagining because
we should adopt this child.
Save her from her horrible dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That makes me sad. And Victor Wembanyama, sad as well. So, but, welcome to the big city. That's just the way it goes. All right, got to take a break. We come back. We're going to have a Hall of Fame conversation. A couple of different things have come up recently, and we're going to discuss that. More of the Daily Blender after this here on 1580 The Fanatic.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities. So it puts less stress on our household and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams winter sale and get 30% off paints and stains January 17th through the 27th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in the parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Did you know that vitamins are your partners in health, not just inside, but outside too? These nutrients are key to our daily well-being. And for anyone who can get pregnant, folic acid is a must for preventing birth defects, helping you have a healthier pregnancy. The Arizona Department of Health Services is offering 3 months of free daily vitamins with folic acid. Power your health inside and out. Get your free vitamins at azdhs.gov/PowerMe-A2C.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Health Services.
Your home for sports.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So I think it might have just been pandering. Might have been pandering. Because, Bill Belichick was hanging out with the Manning brothers on their TV show, right? So, it might have just been pandering. But Bill Belichick turns to Eli and he's like, hey, you're going to look great in that gold jacket. I'm sure it's going to happen. You deserve it so much. All right. I don't know how much Bill Belichick would drink before any episode of the Manning stuff. And so I don't know. I don't know if he really, really meant that. But it does bring up the question. Eli Manning, Hall of Famer? I mean, Bill Belichick is on a committee, I think.
Yeah, look, I think Bill needs it because he's serious about football. Everything he says, whether he's happy or sad about it, when it concerns football, I don't think the guy's lying. As far as Eli being a Hall of Famer, I think you have to. It just, for me, a first ballot Hall of Famer feels weird for a guy whose career record is literally 500.
Maybe not first ballot then.
Yeah.
Maybe not first ballot.
But the 2 Super Bowls and who they were against carries a lot.
Yeah. Well, he had 2 Super Bowl MVP awards too. And he beat the Patriots both times.
Even though that first Super Bowl MVP should have gone Strahan, but whatever. That defense carried the day.
You're right.
Carried the day more than Eli did. He just threw the ball to David Tyree in the craziest throw and catch I think we've ever seen, and that's how that happens. And quarterbacks get that little extra bump. But boy, I mean, you talk about a career that statistically is just insanely similar to Phillip Rivers. The difference being Phillip never made it to the Super Bowl. Eli wins 2. All right, Eli gets to be in the Hall of Fame, but also 500 literally it's the perfect. I'm not estimating that it's 500. I'm not rounding it. It literally is 500. You can't be a first ballot guy with that, in my opinion.
He'll get in.
Yeah, he'll get in, and he'll deserve it too. I mean, Eli Manning was a great playoff quarterback. Like that, I think that also should count for something. In the postseason, when he got there, he was able to get the job done.
And what do you want? Do you want a great regular season quarterback, or do you want a great postseason quarterback? And by the way,
you'll take the postseason.
You have to be at least a decent enough quarterback regular season to get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So what are you complaining about, New York?
There's also a bunch of years where he did not do that. But the years where he did, if you could get Eli Manning in the playoffs, and it didn't matter how you got him there, they could be on a hot streak. They could be losing 3 out of their last 4 on their way in and having to wild card their way to the Super Bowl. If you got him in there, Eli was dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I mean, listen, all the respect in the world as a Colts fan, you beat the Patriots. Tip of the hat.
And you stopped the perfect season, which we would still be hearing about to this day.
Oof.
And he saved us from that. So I don't want to knock him too much, but
yeah, almost every other play. Back when we had our perfect season. Jesus,
oh my God.
Jesus. So, all right, not this time, but next time. But Belichick, he's, people listen, but he's not as influential as you think. Because if he was, Rodney Harrison would have been in there a long time ago.
Yeah.
So now another Hall of Fame thing. So now we got to start considering CTE. We got to start thinking about that sort of thing, because I saw this story about a guy named Jim Tyre. He was a Chiefs player. And, back in 1980, He killed his wife and then killed himself. Now everybody's assuming now it was CTE, but at the time, we didn't know anything about that. They're just, well, it's just a murder suicide. We have no idea what happened. It's a tragedy. But then after that, they're like, well, we can't put him in the Hall of Fame. Can't put a guy who murdered in the Hall of Fame. And so they're like, yeah, it's morally abhorrent and unacceptable to put a murderer in the Hall of Fame if you have the power to do otherwise. That was a little disclaimer part about somebody who'd already been in the Hall of Fame killing his ex-wife and a waiter. So they never diagnosed him with CTE because they didn't know to look for it, and it's too late to go back and check his brain. His family says, oh, we forgive him. We almost immediately forgave him. And the family is like, no, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He earned it. And whatever happened, good or bad, I'm glad the attempt was made, positive or not, to get him in the Hall of Fame. But on paper, if you look at the facts, he should be in there. He says, I guess I find it interesting. There's guys out there who are not going to vote for my dad because of what he did. But everybody that knew my dad was very quick to forgive him. That's nice, I guess. That's nice. Christian-y and stuff. But that you're kind of glossing past the point.
Now, yeah, like, why did they forgive him? Did they forgive him because, like, that's just the kind of people that they are? Or did they forgive him because, wow, that was just so uncharacteristic of him?
Did your mom have it coming? I mean, I don't understand.
Okay, well, that's not...
I would never forgive.
Yeah, I wouldn't, but if somebody was like, wow, that just doesn't even seem like him, like he was just out of character, that I could see that, and then you'd have like a CTE case there. But I because I think it probably was in fault. He played left tackle. The linemen honestly take the worst punishment when it comes to CTE. I know we've seen some really bad hits to quarterbacks and stuff, but the linemen are the ones that take the hits over and over and over again, and those are the ones that get you, get your brain to be so deformed that you're just kind of losing it.
So the son said, we forgave my dad within days because we knew what he did to our mom that night was not our dad. But it was.
It was, but maybe it wasn't. Like, if your brain devolves, is it really you? Like, when someone is acting out of character that's got dementia, for instance, like, that's not the same person that they were before they had dementia. And that's what CTE can effectively be described as, it's degenerating your brain to where it doesn't function the way that a normal brain would, and you therefore don't function the way you normally would.
So there's mixed ideas on this. There's a Hall of Fame voter who says, it opens up a giant can of worms if you start to consider that CTE is an excuse, because A, we don't know if he actually had CTE. It's just a guess, probably a fair guess, but we'll never actually know. And B, CTE does not allow you to get away with heinous crimes and then be celebrated separately. And, then other people are saying, no, I can accept the CTE argument after talking to the doctor who originally treated him, So there are different thoughts and ideas, and, it's like, okay.
And it's not like he's being celebrated in his, in life, or even recently after the crime was committed. This is something that's so many years later.
40 years, 45.
I don't, maybe you put a statute of limitations on that and say, well, we're going to investigate this. And then if we find, strong enough evidence that it's CTE, we can move forward with it. And if we don't have the evidence, but we have, maybe we don't have the medical evidence, but we have some other surrounding evidence, maybe after this amount of time, we can. Like, I don't know. It's complicated. It's very complicated.
So, yeah, I honestly don't even know what to tell you about this. This is, going forward, this won't be as hard to figure out.
Yeah.
But looking back to that point, it's a little bit harder. And it can be a can of worms.
But when you look at the number of guys that have had CTE that we know now who did exhibit like that kind of behavior where they were starting to get just aggressive uncharacteristically, and then they killed themselves, like, that is an actual trend of things that have happened for people who have been diagnosed with CTE. Like, there's something there.
Well, here's the thing. If you've got the idea to do a murder-suicide, start with a suicide part, because you just orphaned, as he did, a bunch of kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He orphaned 4 children, completely upturned the community. And, I don't know. Going forward, it'll be easier to determine those things. So does that mean we got to look at Antonio Brown differently? Does that mean we got to look at this differently? It's like, how do you even grasp with this? I mean, so we just feel sorry for him right now as he's popping off, talking crazy stuff and being racist, being this, being that.
Yeah. And I'm not saying I give him the pass on that, but at the same time.
But why not? Because you just said all that stuff about CTE.
Because
where does the line drawn between personal responsibility and effects of the injury?
It's hard to say, just because like there are different stages of CTE, and this is where we're at right now in the science. We can't tell what stage you're at until you're dead.
Right.
So I really, that's one of the things you kind of hope, like we get to the point where we can figure it out. But also, like, Antonio Brown is somebody that kind of scares me, because he is somebody who could do something that rash, and then that's a potential tragedy just walking around. Right now, he's making bad decisions and he's saying things that are hurtful, but not actually impacting lives. I'm worried about that next step with him. Could be worse. And then, because we had it was like 10 years ago or something like that. There was like a Chiefs player that committed suicide in the locker room. Maybe it was 15 years ago. It was a long time ago. But like, that was another one of those cases where it was like, this guy was just acting very uncharacteristic, and then just had one of those days where he was off the handle, and then it turns out he had pretty bad CTE. I don't know where you draw the line, and I think that we just need more science on that.
888-368-1580. Just a Tip says, what about that Tennessee quarterback?
I don't know about the Tennessee quarterback, but I know the punter, Rob Baronis, had that whole like driving down the highway at insanely high speeds car chase situation going on that seemed also not good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cabana has a question.
That's right. I think
he says hero. I don't know why. Just a Tip is being. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what that means there.
Cabana says, question for Keon. Can an awesome Park District basketball player get picked up and play this year for the Suns, or does he have to have a tryout before the entire league, before the Suns sign? Just spitballing. Are you talking about yourself, Cabana?
Are you talking about yourself? I don't think you could make the G League team. I don't think you could make the Valley Suns, much less the Suns. I know the Suns are not.
They have open tryouts.
The Suns are not great right now, but they are a 500 basketball team, so they're not. If you want to try for the Wizards, is what I'm saying. Like, you could definitely make that roster.
Probably get an appointment right now.
Yeah, but I don't know that you're. I don't know that you're qualified for the Suns roster. They're not that bad.
So anyway, the complexities of the CTE situation. I think that science has to get better and has to find a way to diagnose that and treat it. I think that's a thing that maybe somebody needs to throw some money at and start to concentrate on.
Yeah. And it is unfortunate that the NFL hid the truth as long as they did, because it means that they stopped possible research that we could have been further along in this by now, but they buried it for about 20 years.
Now you want to tease the guys wearing the Guardian helmets, man. That was sad the other day when that guy got a concussion, even wearing the Guardian helmet, because that was the one move that thing was not designed for. Clunk, hitting your head.
Yeah.
Like your head going backwards and hitting the turf when you're on your back.
That's the reason why a lot of NFL doctors were like, yeah, the Guardian helmet might not help Tua, because if that's how he's getting his concussions, it can't stop that.
You can't get a neck roll on these guys? Come on.
That's true.
That might have helped.
It might have helped, yeah.
Kiss the Cook says, a panhandler on the corner was holding a sign that read, anything helps. So I rolled down my window to give him a golf ball. My daughter started yelling at me. Yeah, I don't think he means that. I think he means any money might help. But, he did say anything helps. So technically, you're not wrong.
Technically.
But you're wrong. And
but in reality, you're kind of an a-hole. A little bit.
Wow. Who knows?
Don't
How do you know the
punk
panhandler's not a scratch golfer?
Don't punk homeless people, man. That's not funny.
Well, I didn't say he was homeless. Just panhandling.
Okay, well.
We'll be back.
Sports bettors, we've all been there. You have a live bet lined up, you check the odds one more time, place the bet only to see the bet delayed by the spinny wheel, line move, and your bet rejected. My name's Alex Kane, and I'm the founder and CEO of SportTrade, Arizona's newest sports betting app. At the core of the SportTrade offering is our probability-based odds. In other words, the Cardinals may be offered at 55% odds to win, a lot simpler than minus 125. Place your bet at 55% odds, and as your win probability changes, so does the value of your bet, giving you the ability to cash out with total control. And the best part, no spinny wheels. Live bets on SportTrade are instantly accepted. Download SportTrade on your iPhone today and use code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Terms apply.
SportTrade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side, your Sleep Number setting. And now it's our lowest price of the season on our top-selling i8 smart bed. Your best savings, plus free home delivery with any base. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in the parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
They're gonna go nuts when he hits this thing.
It went in. The People's Open is back. See the PGA Tour's best tee it up at the 2025 WM Phoenix Open February 3rd through the 9th at TPC Scottsdale. Get tournament and ticket info at WMPhoenixOpen.com. WMPhoenixOpen.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right
now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. He'll be back, I don't know, tomorrow, next day, Monday. He's recovering from running himself over with a car. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And you got to be careful. You got to be careful here. At work. There's a lot of dangerous things in a radio station.
That's true.
You know, yeah, I don't know, bumping into crap, and I got myself all scratched up, messing with the computer earlier, just playing, and nothing big. It's not like it's a real dangerous job, You ever? What's the weirdest way you ever injured yourself?
The weirdest way I've ever injured
like
myself?
Stupid. Like you're like, oh, can't believe I did that. Silly. Just a silly way to injure yourself.
I don't know. If I'm reading something either on my phone or if I have papers. Like I'm looking down. I don't. I lose awareness of where I am. I've walked into closed doors before.
Okay, that's
like, and at like full speed because I didn't realize where I was.
So remember the other day I told you about how I was doing laundry and I was naked and I took a bunch of clothes out of the dryer and I got a static discharge right on the.
That you did talk about that.
That's not the worst.
That's not the worst.
No, that was bad.
Because that sounds pretty awful.
It was awful. This is worse. So, when I would have shave, my face, I don't usually all the way shave. I use an electric razor and I keep a certain amount of stubble. And the reason is I've got this Irish skin. And if I shave all the way down, all of a sudden I get I'll break out, so I'm just like, nobody's told me I had to shave all the way. So I don't. And so one day I was like, this is years ago. I was like, you know what? I'm going to fully shave. I'm going to do the whole thing. And I had a mirror in the shower, that was already there. I don't know why it was there. I didn't ever use it. I was like, hey, I'm going to use this. And so I go in there and I lather up and I'm shaving my face. I'm like, wow, this is great. I'm in the shower. It's rinsing the razor and I'm getting a nice clean shave. Well, as I'm sitting there shaving, doing my thing, you see how I was going with the grain. I was going down, there's a certain part I was like doing like this. And I don't know what it is. You ever do something and like all of a sudden you just your arms get lazy?
Yeah, no, it happens often enough. Yeah.
As I'm shaving my the tip of my chin, and I'm kind of like looking at it, I was like, my right hand got lazy and it came down and sliced my nipple.
Ow.
It didn't hurt immediately. It hurt a lot later. As I'm like, blood, so much blood. But yeah, just wait.
Oh no!
And I'm like, how do I explain this to anybody?
You can't.
I mean, the way I showed you makes perfect sense. That whole move right here. My right hand on my chin comes down, slices my left nipple.
Damn.
I had a left nipple shaving accident. They're like, were you shaving your chest? No, I was up here, went down there.
Oh God.
So yeah, that's worse.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's worse than a static discharge on Bading Dong.
I thought that was going to be a hard one to beat.
Some other people who had some silly ways of injuring themselves. One woman was singing a Little Mermaid song at karaoke. She got real into it, tore her ACL.
That's another one that's going to just be tough to explain. Like, I tore my ACL. Oh God.
Donnie says, why are you doing laundry naked? Because I live by myself. And I just got out of the shower and I go in there. I'm like, let's get some clothes. When you live by yourself and there's no one around, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. And also you wait until you're out of clothes. That's when you do laundry.
Yeah. It was
when you're out of underwear, that's what it happens if you live by yourself.
Seemed perfectly okay. Never did that again. I always made sure I had a pair of tidy whities on after that. And by tidy whities, I've never worn tidy whities. I mean my boxer briefs. Just the Tip says, Jesus effing Christ, McNair. Okay, I don't understand the reference, but all right. There's another guy waxed his floor, then tried to do the Tom Cruise slide. Remember Risky Business? But he didn't stop, and his face went right into the door frame, busted his lip open. This is all on BuzzFeed. Another guy tried ice skating for the first time, tried to do a jump, fell down, broke their tailbone. Ow. Another woman wanted a balloon. She tried to kick it. She dislocated her knee.
These are Major League Baseball pitcher injuries.
You're right.
Right now. Like
we should have taken these and intermixed them with pitchers. So is this a pitcher or is this a person?
Just a regular person. Yeah.
Another person said, I stood on a beach ball and I fell onto a coffee table.
Oh, man.
A woman was washing her face in the shower, shoved her pinky finger up her nose, and ended up with a horrible nosebleed. That sounds just weird. What? Why would you even stick that? Why?
Just seems excessive somehow.
Someone tried to walk down a set of stairs with roller skates on, ended up with 10 stitches in their knee. Who's so dumb that will go downstairs with roller skates on?
Yeah.
Another person was riding their bike, got distracted when they saw a cute puppy. Oh, that's me. Crash into a mailbox. Haven't done that, but if I'm going to, it's going to be because of the puppy. Another one said, sliced my finger open on a disco ball. Ooh. And another person said, I injured my knee playing foosball. That should be more like an elbow thing or a hand thing.
Foosball. Yeah. There's no lower body action required for foosball that I'm aware of.
Worse is probably this lady. In Indonesia, she got her nose ring stuck in the back of an office chair. She had her nose ring. She was joking around. She kind of like peekaboo, like doing something. I don't know. It was like a mesh chair, weird mesh chair.
Oh, God.
Her piercing got stuck. Nobody could figure out how to get it out. So they called for help. And they're like, well, we can't come to you, but if you come to us, we can help. So they had to load her up with a chair attached to her face in a van. And then they had to walk through the waiting room with this thing, like the chair connected to her face.
Wow.
The rescue mission video is actually pretty amazing. Then they, people at the place were like, hey, let's have some fun. So they like, all right, we got this. And they came out with a chainsaw. And she's like, no! They're like, oh, we're just kidding. Here, we got some pliers. You'll be fine. So I imagine work will make her pay for the chair.
I would think so, unless it was her chair.
Muahaha says, my dad worked for a radio station in the 70s, and one of the things he had to do every once in a while was change the light on the transmission tower. He never got hurt, but he was dangling from the top of the tower hundreds of feet in the air. Oh my God. You know how people will charge like $10,000 to go up there and do that. And they've got all sorts of equipment. I never heard of a DJ. It's your turn.
It's my turn.
I quit. I ain't going up there.
There's just no radio career worth that at all.
So the prank there is they send him up there, and when he opens up the box and the bulb says, haha, just kidding. Now I got to go down, got to get there. Moist One says, I just came back to discharge on the ding dong. Yeah, static discharge on the ding dong. That's a thing. Actually happened to me. Bruno Baller says, will we be having Keon's college basketball dance parties? Yeah, we should probably start that.
Yeah,
up
we
soon.
probably should start that. Yeah.
When do we want to do that?
We can go for it tomorrow.
All right, we'll start doing it weekly because there's only one football game left.
Yeah.
That's next Monday.
So, yeah, we could talk about that Monday.
Oh, yeah. What time's that game on Monday? We have to work. But a lot of people have that day off. You should have that day off.
Let's see here. It says the game starts at 5:30. So,
all right, we get to see most of it. All right. Pickle D says, "Hey, maybe take the nose ring out. Cut the patch off the fabric and the chair." I think it wasn't fabric on the chair. I think it was like plastic and super hard, so that's why they couldn't just get it off. Swave Dave says, last March, I was getting ready for work, walking down the stairs, heard my two dogs behind me, took my eyes off the last step, and bam, fell on the ground, dislocated my ankle, breaking 2 bones in my fibula. Ironically, the day before, I took my wife to the doctor to get her walking boot after she broke her ankle in January. I was laid up out of work for 5 months with that. I don't know if that's silly, but yeah, that sucks. That does suck. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of silly, remember when Disney and Fox, who else was it? Warner Brothers, Discovery, they're like, let's start a sports station. Let's start a sports streamer. Remember that? Venu is what they called it.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, and we're like, great. Here comes Disney, Fox. They're going to put together all these.
Oh,
different
that's
things.
right. Yeah,
and
I do remember that. Yeah.
Oh, I remember this. It used to be called cable TV, right? They're out of business. They've already spent $400 million on this, and just this week they've shut it down. Put a note on the door, send everyone home. So Venu is over. Did anybody listening have that? I never even saw an ad for it. Did you?
No, not one.
$400 million, and I never saw an ad for it. Where did this money go? I feel like somebody's money laundering.
Or were there legal fees? Because I know there was like an antitrust thing that they had to fight the moment that they said they were going to do it.
I don't know. So here's what it says. They put this thing together. They're ready to launch it. And then Disney and Fubo merged. And then DirecTV and EchoStar, they're like, we don't like this. We feel like there's some antitrust concerns here. And because Disney, Fox, Warner Brothers, Discovery together, all this together. And then they were fighting it out for a while, I guess. And then they were like, yeah, we decided not to do it.
Yeah, I think most of their money got burnt up in legal fees. This is what it sounds like.
But these guys had an unlimited stream of money from Disney, Fox, and Warner Brothers. If you put $400 million into this and you cut bait, it's not just because of the lawsuit. There's something else there.
Maybe. I couldn't tell you.
We're proud of the work to date and grateful for the V News staff, whom we'll support through this transition period. We'll hold the door for you. That's basically it.
Yeah, the V News staff is like, do I still get my severance pay? Or that's their concern. We never really got to do anything. So
they say these words, and then later on, you don't know anybody who worked there. We supported you. Yeah. How is that? We left the air conditioning on while you gathered your stuff. Buffalo Mike says, I took my wife snowbirding for her first time in Utah. She fell and broke her coxswain. Do you know what you can do for that? Nothing. She never tried it again. The coxswain is the tailbone, isn't it? Coccyx is the tailbone.
Oh yeah, the coccyx.
Sorry, I said coxsole because I didn't see that. That was a exclamation point. Looked like an L. So the coccyx. Coccyx. How do you say it?
Coccyx.
Coccyx?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds dirty.
Yeah. I could see the wheels turning in your head right now about the
like a really filthy SEAL team. Killer Rabbit says, I was at a bowling thing, for charity, as one does. I'd love to read the rest of this, but the Thinky Wheel of Death just came up. I don't know. Oh, by the way, maybe Fox Sports had to get their money and put it towards something else. They're going to be broadcasting LIV golf events. So the Live Golf will be on Fox.
No, well, that's a jump up from the CW.
Yeah.
Where it was.
People over at CW are like, God damn it, we lost another one. This is bull crap.
Back to reruns of Gossip Girl.
Yeah, all right. I feel like they'll do better there.
Yeah, that seems to be their demographic.
So Killer Rabbit says he was at a bowling thing for charity. He says, I rolled a gutter and jokingly slapped my head. Forgot that I had a hat pin in my hat. The blood never stopped pouring down my face. Charity. I'm confused by this. You slapped your head, but there was a pin in your hat, and then that just got okay, I got you.
Yeah. Because some of those, the backside of the pin, some of those can still be pretty sharp and angular, actually. It's weird.
Moisman says, weird pitcher injuries. That reminds me of Kaz Sasaki going on the IL after falling down the stairs. But now there's a rumor that his wife kicked him down the stairs for smoking opium. Do you even know who he's talking about?
I genuinely don't. I was about to Google it.
I probably should have. I don't like the Google stuff that he sends in. I mean, it's bad enough I got to see somebody's coccyx there. Yeah, from the Mariners. Kaz Sasaki. Smoking opium? I'll be darned. If you say so. Boy, this just seems like a weird day, doesn't it?
It really does.
Probably me. It's probably me. Happy Lefty says smoking opium is about as retro as you can get in the drug world. Oh, yeah. That's like the original, the OG of drugs. They find you all stretched out in an opium den. That was Sherlock Holmes did that. The original Sherlock Holmes. You'd find him hanging out in one
I mean,
of those.
you could probably go back to the ancient Middle East and find the people smoking opium. That's old school.
So real fast, I just want to remind everybody that Fish Tank has a show on January 24th at the Yucca Tap Room, 8 p.m. You got to be 21 years or older. There's no cover charge, but go see Fish Tank and his band Light Sleeper. And it's a fun band. It's fun songs, and the music they've released so far has been pretty fun to listen to. So we should probably take a look at what's going on with the coaching carousel.
Round and round it goes.
Yeah.
Where it lands, nobody knows.
Doesn't even feel like a carousel. It just seems, I don't know, seems weird.
It's just a lot of you got the Patriots making their move, but everybody else I think is just waiting until after the Super Bowl.
Why?
Because if you can't hire the guy that's coaching in the Super Bowl, their season has to be over for you to sign them per the NFL rule. So if you want Ben Johnson, you're not going to go, I need a coach and just sign a guy that's not Ben Johnson. If Ben Johnson's the guy you want.
They shouldn't even be allowed to figure this stuff out until after the Super Bowl anyway. I don't know. What do you think is the best way to do this?
I don't think so. I think if your guy's available, go ahead and make the move. I don't know, but that's the risk you're taking is the longer you wait, you could end up with the guy you want, or you could actually wind up hosing yourself because he doesn't choose you. It's a game of risk.
I guess so. So one of the wrinkles that has appeared is kind of shocking, kind of surprising, but then again, maybe it's not. But it's got to make some people nervous. Talking about with Bill Belichick. Tell you what we'll do. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's talk about all the stuff that's happening with the coaching carousel. We got plenty of NFL stuff to talk about, the injury report, and just, basic NFL stuff. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to harmonsolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to harmonsolar.com. That's harmonsolar.com.
Water is Arizona's most valuable resource. And for over a century, Phoenix has led the way in providing reliable water services. Wherever you call home in Arizona, we all share the responsibility to conserve for tomorrow. Watch your water use, especially outdoors. Consider desert-friendly landscaping and water-saving appliances. Together, small changes can make a big difference. Learn more at phoenix.gov/water and help secure Arizona's water future. This message is sponsored by the City of Phoenix Water Services Department.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
The Rich Eisen Show on the Infinity Sports Network.
Rookie quarterback who dropped his Huggies a long time ago in Jaden Daniels. He is the 100% leader in the Why Not Us clubhouse. They are the first team since 1991 to win a playoff game in which they had at least 5 or more fourth down attempts because they believe in this kid and the personification of Jaden Daniels' coolness.
Stay Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. T-Licious says, I ducked a sponge my friend threw at me. Somehow I swing my face into a brick staircase and the corner stabs me right in the eyebrow, scratched my cheek. 9 total stitches. I think that's an overreaction to somebody throwing a sponge at you. Just a Tip says, Yucca Tap Room is a great club. Been playing or watching there many times since the 70s. Well, I didn't know Yucca Tap Room had been around that long. I knew it'd been around a while. Well, that's cool. All right, so let's talk about Bill Belichick for a second. Bill Belichick, the new coach for North Carolina. He's the Tar Heels' latest head coach. And he's like, all right, I'm done with you, NFL. I'm out. Done. I'm a UNC guy now. Okay, that's great. That's great. And so then, we started into the coaching carousel for the NFL, and people started, maybe Bill Belichick. And Belichick's, no. UNC, that's for me. UNC, that's for me. Well, wait a minute. What about the Cowboys now that McCarthy? No. UNC, that's for me. So I was like, all right, I'm impressed. That's good. He's going to be a man of his word. And now a new piece of information has come to light. He has not signed his contract. Still has not signed his contract.
Yeah. Now, I don't know whose side, because the contract still hasn't been signed, but it's like
he signed a term sheet.
Mm-hmm.
But now, as we learned from Marvin Harrison Jr. and his interaction with Fanatics, term sheet, not the same as a contract. Term sheet is just a thing where it's the basic idea of what the contract is going to be. Hey, we agree kind of this is what we're going to do. And let's get ourselves a full-blown contract. Well, okay, here's the full-blown contract. Bill Belichick has not yet signed it. So they signed the good faith term sheet, but the contract it's still floating around in the wind. What is the hitch on that? Do you know? Why has he not signed the damn thing?
That is the part that I'm not entirely certain about. It is a college football thing for coaches to start working without signing the contract necessarily, and there are some details that need to get hammered out that maybe both sides don't agree on. Maybe we agree on the amount of time I coach. Maybe we agree on the amount of money, but we don't agree on the buyout. If you fire me, how much of this do I actually get to keep? Most coaches like all of it. They like to get as much of that as they possibly can.
So right now, at this very moment, if Bill Belichick's like, silly me, I'll be in the NFL now.
Well, yeah.
Are they going to expect the team that he goes with to chuck some money back UNC's way?
Not if he didn't sign a contract.
Exactly. But if he did sign a contract, they would. But he signed a term sheet, and that might be the piece of paper that they try to use to leverage to get the money from the next team. You see what I'm saying? What a mess. Bill Belichick not signing that has now caused all sorts of troubles.
Yeah, but I do think, and I think like just some of the stuff I was reading earlier today, it doesn't seem to be 100% clear whether or not Bill didn't sign it because the university didn't get him the full contract that they agreed on for him to sign, or if they gave him the contract and he's now kind of going back and forth on it. It's unclear whose fault this is, because some universities are like that too, where they just move so slowly that it's just the coach is like, yeah, I'd sign it if you gave it to me. You haven't given me anything yet.
Yeah, right now he's signed nothing that keeps him there. Nothing that would have any sort of legal ramification if he decides to walk away. And now UNC still has no head coach.
Yeah.
This is concerning. I would not be happy about this. If I am the athletic director, I'd be sitting on Bill Belichick's front porch right now.
Unless you're the guy that didn't give him the contract to sign. We genuinely don't know whose fault this is. If they didn't work up the actual full contract, there's nothing for him to sign. So he didn't sign it.
So we don't know if he's sitting there with the contract in his hand unsigned. We don't know if the school hasn't given him the contract.
Exactly.
All we know is there's no signed contract.
Yeah.
I would almost bet you there is a contract in Belichick's hands. Because why would UNC be slow to do that. There was a term sheet.
Well, that's the thing.
And they know what they're working with.
And there's some agents that are saying a lot of universities do this. Like it's more common than you'd think for a university to have a contract and not quickly move to get it to the coach. And there are coaches who will work for weeks, months on just the term sheet.
Right. And and at that point they're at will. They're not under any requirements. Moise one says, I wonder if his son Steve and then Michael Lombardi, wonder if they have signed contracts. It's a good question. That is a good question. Do not have the answer. But all I know is this looks bad for UNC. And I would imagine Bill Belichick's phone has been ringing.
Yeah. It's a little bit more clear cut in the NFL because the NFL's like, listen, if you want to be a coach and you want to start doing the things that a coach does, hiring your staff, trying to get into the facility and starting to get to work, you need the contract first or you're not allowed in the building. College is like, whatever. We're the Wild West. If you sign the term sheet, that's good enough. Don't worry. If we get you the contract and we get it to you in July, as long as you're willing to go out there and work, we'll pay you whenever we get this thing done.
So if it's UNC who's lagging, what a dumb thing they're doing. If it's Bill Belichick that's lagging, that's terrifying for that AD after everything.
Yeah,
that's a bad look.
You had the entire press conference, and you got him the Belichick jersey and the hoodie with the sleeves cut off. And
I remember the guy ripped the sleeves off of his suit. Did you see that? The press conference where he's sitting there and he's like, and he ripped his. Belichick's like, well, you're an idiot. He's kind of giving him a look like, what the hell? So they're all in. That athletic director is 1,000,000% in. So I almost guarantee you it's Bill Belichick sitting on a contract. I'd almost guarantee it.
Yeah.
If you love it, put a ring on it.
Somebody needs to move quicker, either Bill or North Carolina. But it's weird either way, just because of the profile of the coach. I think if Bill were obviously not Bill Belichick, but just some other guy getting a coaching job, we probably don't even notice.
Well, she's like, I can coach on Saturday for college and Sunday for NFL. Doesn't work that way, Bill.
I don't think you would do that. That's so much work.
He just shows up and stands there. That's all he has to do. I don't know. It's something to keep an eye on. That is a concern right there. The betting odds, I'm sure you guys talked about this on the Beat the Book show earlier. Deion Sanders is now the betting favorite to be the Cowboys' new head coach.
Though we did see on DraftKings where Kellen Moore somehow became not somehow, he actually got requested for an interview by the Cowboys. So he actually became the betting favorite, at least on DraftKings. I don't know exactly what that is across all of them.
Well, I was actually looking at DraftKings earlier today, so that he just jumped from third all the way up to top, if that's true. Sanders had a set of odds at plus 100, and then Robert Saleh at plus 150, and then Kellen Moore at plus 250. But if there was that sort of a request, then yeah, I think that's I don't think Kellen Moore. There's two things Kellen Moore is not ready for. One, to close his mouth.
Well, that's never going to happen. He'll never be ready.
His mouth is
permanently.
Well, at least he's not like Belichick's son, who's like, he's like a weird lizard. Kellen Moore is a mouth breather. I don't think he's also ready to be a head coach.
Maybe not. But like
he hasn't had the stellar, oh my God, this guy is good sort of success. He's had various success, and he's had various meh.
Yeah.
Do you think Kellen Moore is ready to be a full-on leader of men head coach? Also, when he still looks like he's 12?
Well, there's the looks like he's 12 thing. I think there's enough young coaches in the NFL. I don't even know what that means anymore.
No, he looks like a child. He doesn't just look like a young guy. He looks like a pudgy little child.
Kevin O'Connell looks like a kid to me, though.
Kevin O'Connell, no, he looks like a man.
Like when they hired him, he looked very much like a kid to me.
Oh,
but like, yeah,
no, that's fair. Now he's grown into it.
Yeah,
he looks like a straight up coach now.
Yeah, but Kellen Moore's 36. But do I think
he
that
does not look 36?
He is 36.
Oh my God, 20 if you're lucky.
I sure, but I mean, I did see him play in college when I was in college, so it tracks. He's just, I agree with you. The kind of breakout season that you're looking for to get that guy from coordinator to head coach, you didn't really see that. But he has been around the league a bunch to where like he's worked under a number of coaching staff, so that he has an idea as to how this thing ought to work and what like a functioning NFL team ought to look like. But there are better options than him. But would Dallas like him? Would Jerry like him? He was a backup quarterback there. That he was a backup quarterback in Dallas. He was the offensive coordinator on McCarthy's staff for a little bit. So he's familiar with the Cowboys. He wants to coach there. They would be interested in him, obviously. So there is a connection there where they could make that decision.
I don't think DraftKings is very serious when they get further down the list. And they're like, Jimmy Johnson, he's 90.
Nah, Jimmy, come on.
You're going to be Jimmy Johnson.
And also, like, Jerry and Jimmy have, like, buried the hatchet, but that doesn't mean that either guy wants to work with the other.
Tony Romo, they got Dungy, Coughlin, Crennel, Fisher, Gruden, Emmitt Smith.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay.
You're going too far down the list there, DraftKings.
All that's happening is they're trying to put a series of names together that they think people might be dumb enough to bet on.
Hey, it's not going to be Troy Aikman, especially after Troy Aikman criticized. I don't know if you heard that. He was I think it was on a game or something. And he's like, everybody says this Cowboys job is a coveted job. He goes, I'm not sure I'd agree. That is not going to go over well with Jerry Jones. He's not going to be happy. He says, I thought Mike McCarthy would be the head coach. So this is a surprise that he's not going to be. And he says, now it looks like there is no real plan at all. So he basically is looking at it, saying it the way he sees it. He says, as far as a coveted job, I don't know that that's accurate. I do think the Cowboys are high profile, and whoever is head coach of that team is certainly going to draw a lot of attention. But I think most football people that take over as a head coach want to do it on their terms, and that's hard to do in Dallas. Translation, you already know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Jones runs the show, and he only wants 3 letters in the form of one word from you, and that's yes.
Yeah, and that's who he's hired. It looks, that's his track record. When you look at the guys that he's hired, it's not like he's hired untalented people. And like even Mike McCarthy, like it wasn't like nothing. It was just an okay run, but that's the kind of person you get if what you want is a yes man.
Yeah, he says you take Dan Campbell, for instance. Is Dan Campbell if he's with the Dallas Cowboys? Hard to imagine that he is. Hard to imagine that a lot of these coaches would be. He says, love the job. He loves Dallas Cowboys, played there for 12 years. Wish him well, but coveted? Nah.
Yeah, he's brutally honest. I mean,
he does not care.
I like Aikman when he's not broadcasting.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he's just talking, he's really interesting.
He starts drinking that bathtub beer that he makes, and he just starts to get really honest.
Just starts ripping it.
Just starts telling truths. And later he's like, I said that? Like, all right, fine. I'm rich. That's fine.
I'm rich. I got Super Bowls. It's fine.
Yeah, what are they going to do? Cancel Christmas? Come on. So yeah, not a coveted job. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's a little coveted by people who are jobless. Deion Sanders, not jobless.
Yeah, and also, but like maybe not coveted sometimes by other guys too. Like what at the time Vrabel was jobless. At no point in that process did it seem like Vrabel was interested in the Dallas Cowboys.
No. And then Robert Saleh is going to interview with Jerry Jones on Saturday, and then Leslie Frazier will have a turn on Monday.
Oh, wow. Leslie Frazier. That's a name I didn't think I'd hear in the coaching carousel for ever again.
Do you even know where he's been? He's a Seahawks assistant head coach.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. It's just on this piece of paper here in front of me. That's the only reason I know that. And I saw this story, and he's all, I mean, I don't know either. He's surprised too.
Hey, look, if they want me back in it, I'll come back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Leslie would take the job. Absolutely.
Sure. Of course, Leslie Frazier, Robert Saleh, as head coaches in the past, similar records. Saleh, 20-36. And then Frazier with the Vikings, 21-32, and one tie. pretty much the same guy as far as record goes.
Yeah, though with Saleh, like you already worked with Timu, Jerry Jones, and Woody Johnson. Why would you go like high end Woody Johnson is what you'd be doing? Are you sure that's the job you want, where the owner's meddling? And I mean, if you're that desperate for a job,
I don't
Saleh
think he is.
Wait.
I think Robert Saleh is having the interview as a courtesy and as a way of getting his name out there. Oh, look, Robert Saleh is interviewing with the Cowboys. We should get him in for an interview too. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
To remind people that, hey, somebody might want me.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds correct.
Beer Nuts, I don't know if that's true. He says Saleh will be the perfect puppet for Jerry Jones. I don't know, man.
Only if he's desperate enough for that job.
We'll find out, because if he takes the job, there's your answer. Now, how perfect he will puppet, that's another question. Oh, Jason Witten, people are like asking him, hey, you think you could? He's like, I ain't talking to you about this. He's like, no comment. You want to be the cook? No, I'm not. No comment. Hey, what happened to your hair? You shut the hell up. No comment. He's at least walking around Chrome Dome now. He's not wearing. I mean, you know, if you're going to be on Monday Night Football and you think, what I need is as they call them now, hair system. I need a hair system. There's got to be way better ones than the ones we saw him wearing on Monday Night Football. It was almost like he was a joke. He's like, hey, watch this. They're like, you are really committed. I know. Well,
you got to commit to the bit sometimes.
Where'd you get that? Oh, my dog tore up some slippers, so I just put it on my head. And nobody said anything, so I'm just going with it. Now I saw a picture of him and Jerry Jones, and it's just like shiny.
Yeah. You got to let it go, man. Sometimes you got to let it go.
Pickle D says, you think Prime will puppet for anyone? I don't even know
he won't.
What kind of conversation you're having. Jerry Jones is saying something over here. Dion is in the room. They think they're talking to each other, but they're not. And then later, Jerry Jones is, what the hell's going on? And Dion's like, I'm doing exactly what we talked about. And he's like, I don't remember it. Disaster. What a disaster that would be. Oh, look at that. Moist One says, a little sprinkle in Ahwatukee. Gotta love that petrichor. Oh, yes. That's a nice smell. Is it raining, really? Why? We haven't seen any substantial rain in like 160 days or 120. I don't remember what it was.
Something like that. Like Haboob season happened, but without the Haboobs.
You know what it means? Yeah, when there's a lot of rain, then what happens is we get a lot of growth. And then the growth dries up, and then we end up with a bunch of brush fires. Well, having hardly any rain for that long, we don't have a whole lot of growth. It's going to minimize the amount of fires we'll have this year. So that's kind of a good thing, but it's also not great for everything else.
Right.
It's like
little concerning.
Which way do you want to go with this? You want to avoid brush fires, or you want to water some plants? I don't know. But yes, we all love the smell of petrichor, Most One. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back, and I'll hit you up with that injury report. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Think you can handle a few drinks and still drive safely? Think again. Buzzed driving is drunk driving, and drunk driving can land you in serious trouble. In Arizona, there's zero tolerance for impaired driving. Even one drink can cost you thousands in fines and legal fees. Plus, take away your driver's license. So plan ahead. Use a designated driver or rideshare. Get the facts at drivesober.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Multivitamins are your partners in health. Their nutrients are key to your daily well-being, especially if you're planning to become pregnant. A multivitamin rich in folic acid can help you have a healthier pregnancy and prevent birth defects. That's why the Arizona Department of Health Services is offering a free 3-month supply of daily vitamins with folic acid. To get your free vitamins, go to azdhs.gov/PowerMe-A2Z.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Health Services.
1580 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Your home for sports.
David Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Yeah, Jet, I know. We noticed. He said we got some funny stuff falling from the skies in Peoria as well. Oh, look out the window. We got any rain in here in Scottsdale? I don't see anything. Nothing?
Not a drop.
That's figures. Never rains where I am. But yeah, so okay, well, drive safely because you know how stupid everybody gets. First, a drop of rain hits the windshield, and suddenly it's bumper cars out there. Yeah, please drive safely and stay off your cell phone, would you? 888-368-1580. Moist one, I'm not going to read that. All right, the injury report. All right, let's see where things are at the moment. Hey, this is good news for, well, everyone but Keon.
Okay.
The Eagles are healthy going into this divisional round. They have no problems.
I don't care about the Eagles this week.
Well, I know you don't care, but
but I'm saying it's not even bad news for me. I actually have another team to focus on for once in my whole life.
I know you hate them.
I hate them, and I will worry about hating them if we get the chance to play them.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it? I mean, how often does that ever happen where you're conference division, you guys are in the
unless
you're right there together.
Unless you're the Steelers and the Ravens, that happens a lot. Everybody else, it does feel a little bit rare. Yeah.
So if the Commandos beat the Lions and the and the Eagles beat the Rams, then you'll have your dream come true.
NFC East.
Crazy.
NFC East, NFC title game.
That's almost as crazy as an AFC South one. I can't believe anybody from the AFC South is even in this thing right now.
Me too.
What the hell are the Texans? They're not going to be here long.
I mean,
that's got to come to an end soon.
Said that last week.
But I don't know. Yeah, you know what?
that's the thing. Like all of a sudden,
the Chiefs are beatable. They are a beatable team. So here's the lineup. I'm sure you all know. Chiefs are hosting the Texans, and then the Lions are hosting the Commandos. And then on Sunday, the Eagles are hosting the Rams, and then the Bills are hosting the Ravens. Kind of worked out, didn't it? Kind of worked out. Now, hopefully, this means we're going to finish this season off strong with some really good football.
Fingers crossed. Because we've been disappointed in weeks where we really thought we were going to get some good games, like last week, where we got 1 out of 6.
That was just so bad. All right, so I'm going to vote Chiefs Texans most likely to meh.
That feels right.
And then I'll vote Ravens Bills most likely to hell yeah.
That also feels correct. Yeah, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson.
Everything else, we'll see. Eagles should stomp the Rams. But the Lions and Commandos, though.
Yeah,
that's just going to be a good game. I'm still.
That one feels like a good game.
Yeah.
And like Eagles, I mean, you could say Eagles should stomp the Rams, but like there is a genuine question as to whether or not there is an answer for the Cooper Kupp Puka Nacua combo going crazy right now. I mean, I picked the Eagles, I think, but
I think, yeah. I mean,
that Rams defense is also not a joke. Like that's a good, tough group of players that have been playing some of their best football lately.
Well, we'll see how long they can withstand Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I mean that when you play the Eagles, that's the name of the game. Is Saquon going to take over? Last week he kind of didn't, so he didn't have to. But you wonder if a defense can slow him down enough and then force enough Jalen Hurts mistakes to give themselves a shot in the ball game.
Speaking of the Rams, with Puka and Cup, Tyler Higbee is starting to find his way back in. He was a limited participant in practice. I don't know if he was out there today in full participation or not. But man, it's the playoffs. I would almost guarantee you he'll be back. AJ Brown has been working. Dallas Goedert, though, he got sick, so it's not an injury. He's just sick. So I don't know. I don't see anything here about Tyler Higbee. Although the Chiefs, looking at McCole Hardman, they were hoping to try to get him back, but right now he's listed as doubtful. Joe Mixon, looking questionable for the Texans. And I'm just trying to find I'm just looking for Higbee. Oh, look at this. Quinn Ewers turns down $8 million to transfer to another school.
Yeah, he was offered quite a bit of money, but he was like, "No."
Who was offering him the money? Do you know, or is that
I didn't see which team.
He's like,
but a big old NIL deal.
Yeah. I made $6 million in NIL money over the last 3 years. They're like, "We'll give you $8 million right now." He's like,
"I'm going to go play professional football."
Yeah, the NFL is probably going to pay me a bit more than that at some point. Yeah. Oh, hey, Bobby Wagner's off the injury report.
That's huge.
Good news for you going up against the Lions.
Yeah, going to need him.
He had an ankle that was a bit a ding, and he's done his rehab, and so there you go. I just can't find anything on Higbee. It is important. The Higbee thing is important because, that's a great offense. But man, he just opens it up even wider, and they need that.
Especially with the underneath stuff, because that's where you start to put pressure on a defense. If they can stop you from taking deep shots. But hey, look, if we're going to just at least pick up first downs every time we throw the ball or get close, that makes them more honest. And now you can't just double cover AJ Brown or try to beat up Devontae Smith.
So let's see who else on the injury report. Pope Francis, he's on the injury report. He fell down and he has hurt his right arm.
Wait, what?
Pope Francis. He's on the. He's just. He's been having some health problems lately.
Oh.
Had some bronchitis, but he didn't break, so he's going to be able to play this week. I mean, it's not as important because he plays for the Saints, but still.
Right.
Yeah. He has a bad bruise on his chin. He might have to wear one of those big casts. You know?
Oh no.
So. Yeah, he's been kind of clumsy lately. On December 7th, he whacked his chin on his nightstand, and then he got a bruise on that. So probably need to wear the Guardian helmet.
Might have to. If he's falling, backwards, we know the Guardian helmet might not help with that.
I'm just saying he's gonna play. You know what I'm saying? The Pope's a tough guy. He's gonna play.
He's gonna grit it out.
I mean, it's the playoffs.
Gutsy performance.
Talk about gutsy, though. Let me talk about Bo Nix. I didn't realize this. I don't know if you knew this. After the season ended for the Broncos, and Bo Nix was like, "Hey, I don't know if you know this, but I had a transverse process fracture in my back since week 13." He had a fractured back.
Wow.
I mean, he did go on the injury report in week 13, and then they're like, "Yeah, he's got a little back problem." And then he went off the injury report, and he had a pretty good game. So nobody have thought anything about it. Turns out, that little issue, transverse process fracture.
Jeez, man. That's one you keep an eye on maybe a little bit closer in the future. That's the franchise right there. You finally got the quarterback thing right in Denver. Don't screw it up by, risking it all with this guy's back.
I mean, and you know who did it to him? It was Max Crosby. Planted him on his back.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
Who else would it be?
So anyway, so Hefty, you got a badass quarterback, it turns out. He says, hey, do you think Cooper Kupp makes it 3 weeks in a row, finishing the game with 1 catch for 29 yards? It's weird that it happened 2 games in a row. Are you serious? That's all he had was 1 catch, 29 yards? Or you mean he, in the game, had a catch for 29 yards? I don't remember the stats.
Me neither, actually. I'm about to look it up right
But
now.
let me tell you, Hefty Lefty, if that is a play they practice and it was the same kind of play, then that quarterback is on the timing to throw the ball at the same time that Cooper Kupp is going to be at a certain place on the field. So I'd say it's fairly possible that you could see another catch for exactly 29 yards. If that's just something that they practice and they do in their sleep. You see what I'm saying?
As it turns out, both of those things are true. He only had 1 catch, but it was that 1 catch for 29 yards.
I'd go back and look at those plays and see if it's the exact same kind of play.
It might be, because McVay likes to go back to certain plays, especially if it works. Then he's like, okay, I'll just file that away. And then at some point in the next game, it'll show up again.
What kind of success are you hoping to have where Cooper Kupp only gets 1 catch for 29 yards, though?
I just noticed that when Cooper Kupp is on the field with Puka Nacua, having had Cooper Kupp in fantasy a couple of years ago, and Nacua shows up on the scene, like Cooper Kupp was injured to start the year, and then he finally gets healthy, and I'm like, oh, thank goodness, I got Cooper Kupp. And then Nacua is just tearing it up. Cooper Kupp is not the number 1 option on that team anymore. He's still, if you overplay Nacua, Cooper Kupp will absolutely wreck you, but he's not the top option there.
Well, I'll tell you, that's just going to feel weird. That is going to feel weird. Against the Spread says, I disagree with the idea that the Eagles will dominate the Rams. LA has been playing very good football since week 6. LA's defense vastly improved. LA also has more explosive offense and a better coach. They'll be motivated going into Philly. My only issue is the weather. If it's cold, the windy conditions will favor Philly in that game. Keep an eye on that weather forecast before placing any bets on that game. Well, the weather is also going to be a factor for the Bills and the Ravens. We'll talk about that more here in a little bit. But I don't know, man. Eagles are just so well-rounded. They got a pretty good defense. They got an amazing offense. They got a guy who can just wear you down in Saquon Barkley. He just wears you down. He will wear that defense down. And then if you start giving him so much attention, next thing you know, there goes old Jalen Hurts. You've got a 2-headed monster that you have to deal with on the ground. And oh yeah, by the way, Jalen Hurts can throw.
Yeah, I think the thing with Barkley is how much can you contain him? Because the Eagles have lost games this year, so they're clearly a team you can beat. How do you contain Saquon Barkley enough? It's not about stopping him. You're not going to.
I don't know if you've seen the schedule, but this is the Rams.
Yeah, and the Rams, like against the Spread, was saying, like, look at that defense and what they did in the last half of that season. That's not a defense to just ignore because of the way they started the year. The second half season of the Rams that's not a joke. And that Jared Verse kid, like, look, I'm not going to sit here and put that pressure on him, but like he's not Aaron Donald. But what he is some kind of crazy athlete. I would not sleep on that Rams defense.
Not sleeping on it, but I would very confident in Hurts and Barkley's ability. And this is playoff football.
I would take the
Eagles to wear them the hell down.
But to say that they would be pounded, I don't know about that.
I didn't say they're going to pound them. I'm saying they're going to wear them down. I don't know if it's going to be a very high scoring game, but I think that the Eagles will just chip away and wear them down. Hefty Lefty says, I think the back injury may have fixed Bo Nix. Those overthrows from him. He stopped most of them after the injury. He's just kidding, of course, but it was around that time. Swazman says, I am betting on all the favorites this weekend for the NFL. Kyle G says, Rams have a good chance. After all, the NFL would love to have Stafford play in Detroit again. I expect to see some calls go the Rams' way. You know that the Chiefs are still playing football, right? I know it's been a while. If anybody's
but
getting
the NFC side,
yeah, I'm just saying the Chiefs will get. The story is Chiefs Lions. They're not going to give up on the Lions for the Rams.
no, just to make the NFC title game interesting.
Okay, no, that's fair. One more hour after this.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? It seems impossible to find them. Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
They're gonna go nuts when he hits this thing.
Who went in?
The People's Open is back. See the PGA Tour's best tee it up at the 2025 WM Phoenix Open, February 3rd through the 9th at TPC Scottsdale. Get tournament and ticket info at WMPhoenixOpen.com. WMPhoenixOpen.com.
Looking for a gift for your kids or loved ones? Consider getting them something they'll use for the rest of their lives. An education. Open an AZ 529 education savings plan today. Contribute just $50 a month, and they'll have nearly $20,000 by graduation. Plus, your money grows tax-free and can be used for college, vocational school, or workforce training. An AZ 529 account will help them unwrap their full potential. Learn more at az529.gov.
This message is sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down. Because it's time. Time for what? Showtime. When does it start? Right now. 3, 2, 1. Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. Hopefully he'll be back next week, recovering from his injury. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. I almost don't want to even tell you something. You ever have that? You're like, maybe I don't want to talk about this because I don't know where this is going to go.
Yeah, I've had that all the time.
But you remember that movie Office Space? And the woman goes like, looks like somebody has a case of the Mondays.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Oh, good God. Well, now Coors Light waited 30 years. I think that movie's 30 years old. Has waited all that. Now they're actually selling a case of the Mondays.
Okay. All right.
Which, if you got a boss that says that, you can sit down at your desk with a case of the Mondays and just sit there at your desk and drink.
if that's the kind of workplace where you can get away with that.
So here's what it's really about. Coors Light got made fun of this week for an ad with obvious misspelling. It was in print ads and on a big screen in Times Square. It said Mountain Cold Refreshment, but they misspelled it Refreshment. So now they're like, well, it looks like someone's got a case of the Mondays. So now they've announced they're temporarily changing their name to Mondays Light so people can go out and buy a case of the Mondays. Press release kept up the claim that the typo was a mistake, but they had a whole ad campaign locked and loaded to go right after. That stuff doesn't happen.
Not accidentally.
No. So this whole thing was a scam.
No.
Yeah. And then they did a poll that found 41% of people think the Monday after the Super Bowl is one of the worst days of the year. Worst days of the year. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, to go to work. After that, you've eaten and you've drank, and now you got to go back to work.
Yeah,
it does stink. It
brutal.
does. So anyway, they're selling 12 packs of Mondays Light nationwide for a limited time, and you can win some if you post a photo after they run their ad in the Super Bowl or something. I hate this so much. It's a good thing I don't care for this Coors Light. No, thank you. It's like, yeah, I don't believe the water they make their beer in is all that great. Just saying.
Oh, boy.
So, Pickle D says, Jeffrey, have you attempted your Kendrick Lamar experience yet? I told you, Saturday morning, making breakfast, going to crank up the music. That's when it'll be. Is it all good? Is there like a best of thing?
Is like a best. I'm
Is
sure
it all bangers?
Well, because no, some of the songs are like not like catchy, but they're good songs. Like they're more artistic than catchy. I don't know how else to explain that. Like
somebody's gonna have like a best songs.
Yeah,
of Kendrick
like
Lamar
if
on Spotify, right?
Yeah, if you've got a Spotify, they'll have the top stuff.
Yeah, I'll just trust that. I'll trust that unless you want to give me a playlist. Unless you have a playlist for this.
I don't really have a playlist though. I just listen to the whole albums. So
I wouldn't trust you anyway. Let me tell you why. I'm sure I can trust you, but I shouldn't be trusted either. If you said, "Oh, I never really heard this person's music," I'd give you a playlist, and it'd be some of the weirdest crap you've ever heard. You'd be like, "That doesn't sound right." Yeah, you're right. I will waste an entire hour of your life.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
in advance.
So, I don't know. Super Bowl. Gonna have a party?
I'll probably go to a party. I don't know if I'll have one.
I've been wanting to have a party for years. And then it gets close to the Super Bowl, and I kind of look around, and I'm like, oh, that seems like work.
It is, especially if you host the party, because then the day after, it's like you've got the dishes, you've got all the the mess is at your place.
People are in your house, Well,
that too.
I don't know. Yeah, we get Randy to throw a party. We went to a party at Randy's once.
That was nice.
That was fun. Smoking cigars in the patio. That's pretty much all we did.
Yeah, actually, that was the whole party. Yeah, it was whiskey and cigars.
Oh yeah, it was nice. It was nice. But there's a screen out there, There's a screen, so I don't know. I don't know, people. Do you care what you're doing when the Super Bowl is on? Is it a big deal for you as a holiday? Do you like to entertain? Do you like to have a house full of people? I've been to all sorts of different versions of this. I've been to giant parties at somebody's house, been to just a couple of people, been out to watch it, been just every version you can think of, I've done. And I don't know. I don't even care. I don't, what it is? I want the game to be good. I've been to some, rich people parties and you're like, oh my God, the food, everything is like, oh yeah, this is great. And it's like, not really into who's playing, or just the game's kind of a yawner. Then I've been, all kinds of different versions, the poor versions, the rich versions, the crowded versions, the just me and the wife versions. And it just doesn't matter where you are. It just matters that the damn game is good.
Yeah. One of the best Super Bowls I ever watched. I watched by myself.
See,
I was supposed to go to a Super Bowl party. My girlfriend at the time was hosting it, and then we broke up the week of, and I was like, oh, I can't go to that party.
Ooh.
That's awkward. But
Some
literally
bad timing.
Everyone I knew was going.
Did you break up with her? Or did she break up with you?
I broke up with her.
You did not think about the timing.
Nah, it had to happen. Like that was not a could wait situation. So I wasn't going to, and I didn't want to wait another week for it because it was not a good relationship.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
So yeah, no, I got myself a bunch of wings. I chilled out and watched. That was the Philly special Super Bowl.
You didn't sit there like eating your wings.
Not until the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, then that's when the misery came. It did come.
That hurt my feelings worse.
Sure,
honestly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Bear Nut says, I still think Cliff is going to be the coach. Coach of what? Coach of what? You talking about the? I think he's talking about the Cowboys.
You think the Cowboys? Nah.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it would make sense, but they wouldn't do it for exactly that reason.
Against the Spread says Monday after the Super Bowl is the most inefficient day of the year. Only makes sense to create a federal holiday, call it American Sporting Day, whatever. Maybe Trump can make it a holiday after achieving peace in the Middle East, buying Greenland, and fixing them damn McFlurry machines that never work. That'd be great. I mean, listen, we've been saying it for, good God, a decade on this show. The Monday after the Super Bowl should be a national holiday. And, nobody should have to go to work that day.
Because you're already not at work. Like mentally, your body's there. Your mind is still hungover.
You got to make it Super Bowl Saturday.
Which you could do. I don't know. I like it on Sunday. It
doesn't matter what day it's on.
It doesn't matter, but it feels right to me personally. I'm used to it being on a Sunday. You get prepared for it the day before. You buy all the stuff. You get it all. Oh, if you're bringing stuff to the party or whatever, you get it all on Saturday and then you go Sunday.
I listen. Do you want the day off or not? That's what I'm saying.
I want a 3-day weekend.
You're more likely to get this done if they have it on Saturday.
I want the 3-day weekend.
I do too. I really do too.
Otherwise, I'll just suffer through the hungover Monday because at that point, what I really want is 3 days off from work instead of 2.
So year after year, the Super Bowl, biggest event on television. And what really gets me now, we're doing sports on a sports station, so we care about who goes, who wins, whatever happens. But according to a new poll, most people don't even care who wins it. 37% of Americans are indifferent. 37%. 11%, they're like, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Unless there's a player I like in there a lot, or my divisional rival is in the Super Bowl, I'm rooting against them. I don't really care most times either. I just watch. I just like football.
So here's who Americans think will win. They think the Chiefs will win. And the Lions.
Way to go out on a limb there, America.
Yeah, 13% said the Chiefs, 8% said the Lions. Meanwhile, 33% don't care. And 19% said, I don't know. Not sure. So, I guess as much as we care about it, lots of America doesn't. 22% of Americans say they plan to watch most of the postseason games. 21% say they'll watch some. 37% I told you about earlier, they ain't watching nothing. 9% say we're only watching the Super Bowl. That's all we. My mom is that person. My mom will watch football if there's other people watching it. But outside of that, she doesn't care.
my mom's similar.
You got the Super Bowl on. Now she cares. She'll probably go watch the Super Bowl with my sister. They always put a good party together. That's for sure. Let's see. Bat Flipper says, hey, add Silent Hill and Like That to playlist this Saturday. I think you're going to love Silent Hill. Is that a name of a song or is that a group?
That is the name of a song.
Oh, okay. So these are songs of Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Don't look at me like that.
I'm not looking at you any kind of way.
You're thinking about it.
Yeah, I was thinking about it because I'm like, yeah.
I thought you were giving me the look like, oh, Jeffrey.
Because I was like, is that his song or is that a song he's on? I got.
Yeah, this is only Kendrick Lamar. I'm not listening to other stuff. I'm focused. I want to see who this guy is.
Dialed in. Yeah.
I want to examine the cut of his jib so then I can comment on it and say, I like the cut of his jib. Do you know what the cut of a jib is?
Actually, don't know.
No, I don't know that either.
Just thinking about that.
I'm now going to have to look up what the jib is.
It seems like a clothes thing.
Why would you cut it? I don't know. Swazman says the 13-3 Belichick beats the Rams was a tough Super Bowl to watch with defense and punting. Plus, on the Squares game, same person kept winning 3-0, 3-3. Yeah, I know. That's the thing with the Rams. And last weekend, when you saw that 3 hanging there on the score, you're like, oh, crap, here they come again. Just another 3. Just too many 3s around the Rams. Buffalo Mike says, Super Bowl parties are the worst places to watch a game. If my Broncos are playing, I got to pause you there a second. Buffalo Mike, your Broncos.
You might just be from Buffalo.
Can you? I've always thought you were a Buffalo Bills fan, Buffalo Mike. Anyways, he says, I'm at home watching, no distractions. There's not enough room in the city of Dallas for Prime and Jerry's egos. Oh, he just changed the subject on me mid-thing, but I'm not going to let you change the subject. How are you a Broncos fan, Buffalo Mike? That angers me a little. I'm going to call you Bronco Mike instead.
Oh, boy.
I think that's the right thing to do, is call you Bronco Mike.
But what if he's from Buffalo?
I don't care.
But not a Bills fan.
Don't care.
Because you're a Colts fan.
This aggravates me.
Oh, boy.
What were you going to say?
I was also going to say
some jib cutting.
Yeah, the cut of his jib actually originated in sailing in the mid 18th century, when the nationality of warships, you could pretty much tell just based on the shape of the ship and the shape of the sails.
Well, what's a jib? Go ahead. Start typing.
Let's see here. What's the jib specifically?
Yeah, what is a jib?
I think it's the sail.
Yeah. Just a Tip says, I love going to rich people friends' homes for Super Bowl parties. Always bring way more than expected. Always eat way more than expected. Been 2 decades of Super Bowl partying. As such, girlfriend and I always help clean up. Usually last to leave, first to be invited back. That's right. Yeah, that's cool. No, you always help. Always offer at least. You're right about that. Silver Pop says, I thought Silent Hill was a video game on PlayStation. It's not the same thing when he said that.
I mean, it is.
Maybe he did a song about it. Rattlers fan says, the cut of the jib is a nautical sailor term. Congratulations, Ralph, on a fantasy football championship. Stop saying that. He's not even here. You keep saying that because you just assume he's here. He's not here right now. Stop congratulating him on it, by the way. We don't want to hear it. We lost.
Yeah, the jib is the tiny, like it's a part of the sail at the top of the mast. It's a little bit like a flag.
Oh, the little flappy non-essential sails.
And the French would cut theirs one way, and the English would cut theirs one way, and so you could tell just by looking at it.
So some sails would be circumcised, others would not.
I suppose, yeah. And then you do
cut or uncut.
If you were English and you saw a French jib, you'd go, I don't like the cut of his
I don't
jib.
like the cut of your jib. Got it. Now I get it. Okay. So does that apply to Kendrick Lamar at all?
Well,
I guess he has a jib of some sort. Then I'll have to decide if I like the cut of it.
It eventually evolved to just mean that you like someone's demeanor or their style. So, yeah, I mean, you could apply that to people now because that's how we use it.
And these days, you'd be like, I don't know if I like the cut of his riz. And that sounds dirty.
Sounds wrong somehow.
But it's not.
It's not, but
I like his riz.
I won't be saying it.
I want him to riz all. No,
see, wow. Ooh.
Yeah.
This guy took a sharp left turn.
I don't know who came up with that. They shouldn't have. Against the Spread says, Keon, listen to me. If you got to dump your girlfriend, you got to do it before Christmas, brother. If you pull the trigger on breakup early, you avoid having to buy presents for Christmas and completely avoid Valentine's Day as well. You'll have more money for gambling bankroll for the NCAA tournament, and then you'll have an upgraded girlfriend by the Final Four. This has been very well thought out, but His story
Yeah.
was years ago.
It was years ago, and also, you know, I did avoid Valentine's Day, so you know,
He just, I think what he's trying to say is your timing was way off.
timing was only half off.
Yeah.
If I'd waited until after Valentine's Day, well, that would have been whatever. But also, the relationship felt like it was working around Christmas.
Wow, that was a quick turnaround. Then, yeah.
Yeah, no, it escalated quickly.
There's a deal breaker, and he's like, "Nope, I'm out."
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Best way to go.
Later.
If it's over, it's over.
Yeah, I don't wait. That's just like,
Yeah.
if it's not working, I don't see what it helps to just like you try to make it work, and then once that's not happening, then you're done. You're just done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially if you're not married. You just, that's easy.
Yeah, like maybe that's.
I had the locks changed and the girl's stuff out of the porch once. He threatened to kill me.
So that's a good reason. That's a solid reason.
Yeah. Buffalo Mike says, I'm a CU grad from Colorado. So that's where the Buffalo Mike moniker comes from. Maybe I should adopt Bills as my team this year.
Colorado Buffalo. Got it.
Oh. Well, now I feel like we just let him be Buffalo Mike.
Yeah. Now it seems to really fit. Yeah.
No, man. And don't give up on your Broncos. Don't adopt the Bills as your team. I mean, the Broncos have a bright future ahead. You got to see how this Bo Nix turns out. Yeah, I think things are looking pretty good for the Broncos right now.
If I have to root for a team in the playoffs that's not my team, I go to the other conference. I don't want to root for anybody else in the NFC.
Sure.
If I can help it. Unless
Sure.
I just really like somebody on that team. Like when the Rams won the Super Bowl, I was like, that's good for Stafford. I like that.
Oh, I'm thinking good for Kurt Warner. That's how we show our ages. You say Rams win the Super Bowl. I'm thinking Kurt Warner. You're thinking Stafford.
Well, that Super Bowl, I was like, yeah, I like Kurt Warner. So yeah.
Bat Flipper says Cowboys Super Bowls have been my favorite since I turned 21. Haven't seen one though. Hire Dion, please. I don't think Dion's the answer.
I don't either.
Although it'd be a hilarious one. Just a Tip says, Jib, yes, front of the sail, usually two sail ship, raced sailboats for years, as a kid on Long Island. Quit bleeping around, Keon. What? Keon gave me the answers. What are you talking about?
Yeah. You're after me.
Yeah, you're this text came through at 5:17. Keon was Google Foo on top of it. So I have no complaints. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we got some more NFL news and stuff for you. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. Brought to you by GBank. Earn cashback rewards on every eligible gaming transaction. vsin.com/GBank. Subject to credit approval, terms and conditions apply.
The College Football National Championship Monday night at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, pitting Notre Dame against Ohio State and the two top scoring defenses in college football. The Buckeyes #1 in the nation, allowing just 12 points per game. But Notre Dame is right behind them at #2, allowing just over 14 a contest. The Irish are looking for their first national title since 1988, while the Buckeyes won it all back in 2014. Ohio State is an 8-point favorite Monday night, and both teams -110 against the spread. The Buckeyes -380 on the money line, while Notre Dame is at +290. And the over-under 45.5, the over -115, under -105. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
You okay?
I can't sleep with this cough.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize.
Yeah, with NyQuil VapoCool. It's NyQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
So you ready to get some sleep? Thank you, NyQuil VapoCool.
NyQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing nighttime coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-378-5959. That's 800-378-5959. Once again, 800-378-5959.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
The Rich Eisen Show on the Infinity Sports Network.
The Cowboys are now in the coaching, interviewing market. Late, but that's part and parcel of everything else that the Dallas Cowboys do. They're late to sign their quarterback, and they're late to sign their wide receiver, and we'll find out if they're late to sign their defensive pass rusher extraordinaire. That said, who wants to be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys? I imagine there are lots of people, and this is going to get crazy.
Blender here on 1580, the Fanatic. So the Ravens are getting ready for the cold weather in the Buffalo. Do they really need to work that hard for it? I mean, they're just like a couple of states below Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo's different. Buffalo's right, near the Niagara Falls, so the wind chill factor is more intense there.
You tell me it doesn't get cold in Maryland?
It doesn't get Buffalo cold in Maryland.
Because I get the Texans having to get their bleep together, to go play the Chiefs, because it gets damn cold there in Kansas City. Texans are down there in, sunny Texas. But I thought maybe the weather in Maryland was more similar to Buffalo. I mean, I get it. It's more cold in Buffalo.
Yeah.
But I just didn't think it was going to be this big a deal. So
it's just different. I mean, especially the intensity. Like, even though it's cold in Maryland, it's more humid. So it doesn't feel as bad.
Well, they're getting ready for it. I guess the temperatures will be below freezing for the kickoff on Sunday night. Of course, for us, it'll be 4:30 p.m. But Harbaugh said that they turned all the air conditioning on in the building they were working out in to make sure everything seemed colder. He says, we got it as cold as we can, and it'll be colder tomorrow. He says, I get all the water shut off here so the pipes don't freeze, he says. But yeah, we're freezing this place. We'd love to be outside, but we can't. The fields are too hard. They're too frozen for practice. So they're doing whatever they can to get them all nice and chilly. So, all right.
It's going to be 36 degrees in Baltimore on Sunday. It's going to be 20 in Buffalo.
Why didn't they just go there?
I don't know. I think just that's if you have whatever,
you want to prepare for it, go there.
Whatever weekly routine you have there, and also you still don't want to practice out on those hard fields and all of that stuff.
Sure.
So you still you got your practice bubble.
You don't want to get anybody hurt in practice.
Yeah.
By the way, the Bills are getting ready for more than just the cold. I wouldn't think they'd have to go through this extreme measures, but the Bills have signed former Ravens quarterback because they're like, hey, this guy was like their practice squad guy. This guy was their backup guy. This guy knows how things go. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick him up, and he's going to pretend to be Lamar Jackson for us so we can practice and get ready for Lamar Jackson
as best you can. It's not perfect, but
Anthony Brown is his name, by the way.
Yeah,
never heard of him.
I remember him vaguely because he played in like a week 17 game, something like that.
Showed up for a moment. Well,
but you can't have. But if you're going to try and practice playing against the Ravens, you can't use your backup quarterback. Your backup quarterback is Mitchell Trubisky, and that's just not going to work.
Not even close. So the Bills, they're like, hey, let's get Anthony Brown in here. Aha. And then Sean McDermott, they asked him, and he didn't seem like he was too convinced this was a great idea. He was seriously. Here's what he said. He's like, well, there's only one Lamar Jackson at the end of the day. So you do the best you can, try to simulate it. Then he just kind of shook his head and he's like, yeah, good luck.
Yeah. Like you do the best you can.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's better.
I'll admit it.
Better to have your team go up against a guy who is some kind of fast than not at all. And then you're just completely shocked when you see him and they're like, oh, damn, he's still somehow faster than we thought he was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we will see. We will see. Bat Flipper says Chiefs have been resting since Christmas. Anyway, the Texans can pull off the upset. Only if the rest is that great, but I don't think it will be.
I don't think so either, but it has happened. It's
makes you think
off guard.
Andy Reid doesn't know and doesn't have them ready to go.
But they've been the 1 seed before, so it's not like they don't know how to prepare when they're not playing football.
Yeah, I'm not worried. Not worried about
that. Is the least of my concern with them. Yeah,
I like Lamar Jackson's. I like his attitude. Some people will probably say, "Well, that was rude," but Lamar Jackson is just like, "Hey, I ain't here to be your friend. I'm trying to beat you at a football game." He's like, listen, we're older. We'll laugh about it. Right now, it's serious. I ain't laughing with you. I don't chill with people in the offseason, especially not other quarterbacks. Don't get me wrong. There's no problem. But we're competing against each other. Like, I'm trying to beat you. I am not trying to be your friend. I love Lamar Jackson.
He's
so much.
He's awesome, man. And Lamar, like, I don't like the way that they talk about how hard he works in the offseason. Like, Lamar Jackson wants to win a Super Bowl more than anything on the planet Earth. And I don't think it's rare, but I think how badly he wants it in particular is, I think people would be surprised at how important that is to him. And, like sometimes we've seen him work himself up maybe a little too much, get a little too tight in playoff games. Cause like it matters that much to him. So yeah, he's not, Josh Allen has said he's a big Lamar Jackson fan, and the respect goes both ways, but
that's where it ends.
That's where it ends.
Yeah. And, listen, Josh Allen, he's trying to beat you too. So, don't get too chummy with the enemy. When I say the enemy, I'm not saying we're going to bomb his house. I'm saying we're going to go play football. All right. We don't need to be on jet skis together, if you know what I mean. And they played each other 4 times in their careers, and they're tied right now. 2 games apiece. So, yeah. Lamar's like, man, we are just trying to win. That's it. And he says, I've never played against another quarterback. I play against the defense. That's all he's thinking about. He doesn't even care about Josh Allen. He's thinking about he knows the names of everyone on your defense. He knows the numbers. He knows who does what. He knows who he has to worry about. I guarantee you that's the only thing that's on his mind right now.
Yeah. And, a lot of people think Lamar has his success because he's an incredible athlete and he's just the fastest guy on the field at all times. And that's true. He watches an insane amount of film. The guy's really smart as well. He's so athletic that steals the show for a lot of people.
I mean, he's not going to push Josh Allen in front of like a bus.
No.
He'll give you one of these, hey, how are you? And that's it. That's it. He's not going to be a jerk to you, but he is not here to be your friend. He's trying to beat you. I respect that. Derrick Henry, just doing his Derrick Henry thing. Now, in his career, he has 918 rushing yards in the playoffs.
That's already a crazy
Right.
number, especially for a guy that's been on teams that never really went on deep playoff
Right.
runs. I think they had one where they went to an AFC title game and got beaten by Patrick Mahomes. That's it.
82 yards when they play the Bills. He'll get his 1,000, and he will be only the 7th player ever to have 1,000 playoff rushing yards. And he's going to get it. And Derrick Henry is going to get even more. Here are the players that have 1,000 career postseason yards. Emmitt Smith has 1,586. Franco Harris has 1,556. Thurman Thomas, 1,442. Tony Dorsett, 1,383. Marcus Allen, 1,347. And Terrell Davis has 1,140.
That's a nice list to be on.
Yeah. Derek wants the top. You know he does.
Of course he does. But you get
he's got years left, man.
He does. Every time people keep going, oh, Derrick Henry's going to fall off. This is it. He's a running back over 30. There's no fall off. It doesn't happen.
So right now he's just ahead of Larry Zonka for number 9 in NFL history. Yards, not just 1,000, just period. 918 puts him right there at number 9.
Also good company. Like each and every one of those guys is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Oh, Derrick Henry
will also be a Hall of Famer. Just future first ballot,
without a doubt. We won't have a Eli Manning conversation when the time comes for Derrick Henry.
No brainer for sure.
So then you look over at Saquon Barkley. He had 302 scrimmage yards in week 12. Who'd they play in week 12? The Rams. So they play the Rams again. Gives you a preview.
Yeah.
Week 12, not week 2, not week 4, not week 6, week 12. Since the Rams defense got it together.
Yeah. Now, obviously, when a defense sees you a second time, you're not doing 302 yards again. So, like, I wonder what adjustments get made.
Scrimmage yards.
Yeah.
It's running and passing.
Yeah.
So
that's still incredibly tough to do 2 times. And the Rams get a second look at a team, and that's one of the things that makes the playoffs tough sometimes is you are seeing a team for a second and sometimes a third time.
I just have a feeling Saquon Barkley is going to have a big day. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's not a similar day. You say Nene to the 302.
That's a lot of yards, man. That's an awful lot of yards.
That week, the score was 37-20.
What I would be more afraid of if I was a Rams fan is we're not letting Saquon do that to us again. And then like AJ Brown has like 160 yards receiving or something like that. Yeah.
Here he comes. So yeah, I feel like Barkley's going to have a big day there. I think he is. I think the Rams are going to have their hands full. Now, like you say, they're a great defense. It's not going to be a pushover, but I think he's going to wear them the hell out. Just my gut feeling. So by the way, Derek Carr is just wants everyone to know. He's like, hey, I just want not taking a pay cut. I'm not taking a pay cut. I'm not doing that. He says, I've put enough on tape. I'm not going to restructure. I'll help the team wherever way I can, but I'm not going to take a pay cut.
Why would you if you were Derek Carr? You don't know if you're going to get paid the kind of money that he got paid the first time. Again,
you don't even know who the damn coach is going to be yet.
Yeah.
Do they?
Wait,
or did they hire a guy?
No, they did not hire anybody.
That guy was an interim, right?
Yeah. See who the Saints are looking at right now.
Look that up. I know they've been interviewing, right? Or are they just
they're interviewing, but I'm trying to see if they can.
I was losing my mind.
Not that anybody asked, but the first story that popped up said no urgent interest for the Saints in Mike McCarthy. Yeah, I didn't guess that. I didn't have a guess that was what the situation was, but thanks for letting us know. The problem is that there's a lot of people who just don't want to coach the Saints right now. They reached out for Aaron Glenn, and Aaron Glenn was like, no, thank you. If I coach, I will coach not there.
Wow.
Because they're stuck. The thing is, they have no salary cap, really. They're stuck all the time. their pick situation is like anytime they make moves to try and get better, they give up picks. Like there's no real way to get better with the Saints. And if you're a coaching candidate that like this might be your one chance to coach a team and really prove what you can do, you're going to use it on the Saints?
Right. Yeah.
Like when they finally get some cap space, then you will. But right now, not really.
Is not an attractive place. Okay. So Derek Carr, not going to take any kind of a pay cut. And here I saw this. Tom Brady, he's going to just keep going. He's like, he fully intends to fulfill his 10-year contract with Fox. And here's the thing. It's almost like his agent was listening to us yesterday. He says, he'll take a bigger and bigger role, of course, helping out the Raiders, but he's not changing anything he's doing with Fox. His agent, Don Yee, says he fully intends to perform. And the thing is, that role with Fox can still mean moving into the studio and not being a play-by-play guy.
It could, yeah. And if it's not working to the point where, it's hurting them ratings wise, that's exactly what's going to happen, whether he likes it or not.
That's the thing. I doubt he's hurting them ratings wise.
Yeah.
Games will always dictate, what the ratings are, not the announcers.
Not one of us has ever liked listening to Joe Buck or Troy Aikman, but if the game's good,
yep,
we're there
watching every game.
Yeah.
Watching every game. So yeah, that would be the interesting thing, is if he does move into the studio, where I think he would thrive. I think he would be he could be great. I don't know if he's going to be great where he is, but he's still new. And like some of the people who texted in yesterday said, hey, Kurt Warner was a little rough when he started.
Yeah. And I like Greg Olson a lot, but like that first season for Greg Olson was not good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty bad.
I remember.
So, give guys time to grow into it, see how they do.
Sideshow Bob kind of taking my side on this, is Rams defense not going to hold up, but the offense will make it a shootout. Rams will win. Don't underestimate the Rams defense, but I like I said, I think that they're going to wear them down.
But also don't underestimate that Eagles defense. Like that run defense is one of the best in football.
And the Rams don't really have a running game.
Yeah, it's like it's a decent enough running game to keep you honest.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, a lot of teams need to bring like extra to stop you from really running the football successfully. The Eagles don't. The Eagles can just line up 4 guys and stop your run game. And there's really not a whole lot you can do about it.
Silver Pops makes a very good point. He says, Jeffrey, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you predict the Vikings were going to have their way against the Rams? Not a Rams fan, but hey, I mean, they do have to play the game. Well, obviously, Silver Pops, and you're right. I think we all felt like the Vikings were going to stick it to the Rams pretty easy. Didn't see that coming.
No.
If old Sam Bobblehead Darnold had, gotten his crap together, pretty sure I would have been right on that game. But all right, you're right. No, you're right.
I wonder how that works now, right? Because you have the crazy pressure that the Rams were bringing, showing it from all different kinds of places, being very confusing about it. Sam Darnold's a pocket guy. Like if you show him those things, there's really not anything he can do if he doesn't know where to go with the football. If Jalen doesn't know where to go with the football, he's still Jalen flipping Hurts. He can just take off.
He dares you.
Yeah.
He dares you.
He's out of there.
He doesn't see ghosts. He sees opportunities. Yeah. But, the Eagles are not the same as the Vikings. The Eagles, that's
a different team, man.
That's a different confidence right there.
And like the Jalen Hurts running factor does make that different than having Darnold out there.
Just a Tip says Barry Sanders averaged 99 yards a game for his career, 14 games a season, 1,000 yards a year in 17 games, not the same. You're correct, but that was not what we were talking about. We're talking about a cumulative total of playoff yards for certain people. That's all. All right, we got to take a break. We come back. We've got On This Date in Big George's sports history. It's a daily blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-378-5959. That's 800-378-5959. Once again, 800-378-5959.
Sports betting apps are not created equal. Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here to talk about the Sport Trade advantage. With higher payouts, Sport Trade is the ultimate sports betting experience. Sport Trade is the first sports betting app that gives you the option to see the odds expressed as probabilities, and it's changing in-game betting forever. If it's easier to understand 52% probability of winning versus minus 108 odds, then Sport Trade is for you. With this percent odds feature, cashing out now makes much more sense. As the win probability changes, so does the value of your bet. And if you're an experienced bettor and prefer American odds, you'll get pricing closer to minus 106 versus the normal minus 110, coupled with instant in-play betting. No more spinny wheels. So download Sport Trade today to see the difference and beat the book. Use promo code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet you place in your first week. Terms apply. Sport Trade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The GCU men's basketball squad is coming off their winningest season in 35 years, their third trip to the NCAA tournament in 4 years, and their first ever NCAA tournament victory. Returning 4 of their 5 starters in Ray Harrison, Colin Moore, Duke Brennan, and reigning WAC Player of the Year Tyon Grant Foster, the Lopes look to defend their WAC titles and make a run to the Sweet 16. With a non-conference slate including Stanford, Georgia, and crosstown rival Arizona State, you won't want to miss a moment of the action. So join me, Michael Potter, and Lopes insider Paul Coro all season long right here on the home of the Lopes, 1580 The Fanatic. Lopes up.
The most important event in sports could happen at any time.
Like right now.
Or right now. Or even
now.
Don't miss history. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Danny Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and I regret to inform you, Keon, that your Wizards are getting beat up by the Phoenix Suns 40-28. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad, but that's about what should be happening, actually.
Except for Valanciunas just got a nice block on Devin Booker, so that's got to feel pretty good. All right,
Well,
so
they might trade him at the trade deadline too. So
yeah,
he's a little too good.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. We're tanking.
Too good for the Wizards. Yeah.
We're tanking, Jonas. Stop this.
You're like, you want to get on the Suns bus? So you just do that. So speaking of the NBA, I just saw this and I'm scratching my head over here. Headline: Maverick Carter, as LeBron James's business manager, is advising a $5 billion effort to start a new basketball league, 5-on-5, an actual new basketball league. Why? You got one. It's called the NBA. I just don't understand this. You got $5 billion. Why don't you go talk to Adam Silver about an expansion team? I am very confused here, but here's what it says. And there's money behind this. They're looking to form a league consisting of 6 men's teams and 6 women's teams playing games all around the world. Okay, so like an international kind of league.
Yeah.
But they already have I really don't understand this.
I don't quite understand exactly what the pitch is to separate yourself from the NBA. What makes you different?
LeBron wanted to be an owner of an NBA team. Was it?
Yeah, but this has got nothing to do with LeBron.
I know it, but it's his manager, Maverick Carter, which means I'm sure
LeBron knows about it.
There's probably some LeBron money maybe going to go this way. Get his beak wet, as they say.
I have no idea. Because Maverick Carter became a great businessman in his own right, and so like he's been able to make the connections to get himself money that I don't think he needs.
Connections, because he's got private equity firms and sovereign wealth funds and all stuff like coming together, and he's like, haha, I got $5 billion. Oh, geez. All right. Well, what do you want to do with that? Well, start a league. Yeah, okay. I think it's a hugely bad idea.
I have no idea. I'd be interested in seeing what's the selling point? What makes you different from the NBA? Because if you're going to do something a little bit different and you can promise me that the basketball is good, I might check it out.
But it's 6 men's teams and 6 women's teams. This could be devastating to the WNBA, because you take the stars and you offer them the best of the WNBA, and you offer them some serious money, and now you have just destroyed the entirety of the WNBA. The NBA, that's a little harder to do, isn't it? To drag people away from the NBA.
Maybe. Now we'll see if this destroys the WNBA and not like the other women's league that a bunch of WNBA players started.
What's that?
That they
were. I thought they were joking.
No,
I wrote that in my diary. I laughed. I said, Keon said a funny thing. Some WNBA players are starting a whole nother women's league. I laughed for hours about that. Is that real?
That is real. And it's not to compete with the WNBA. You will still be a WNBA player.
What's it called?
I don't know. It hasn't started yet, so I don't remember off the top of my head.
I'm going to guess that was a hugely bad idea on somebody's part there too.
But I like that idea better, because what it's trying to do is say, hey, let's try and get you some more money so you don't have to go to Australia or Russia to play basketball.
Oh, off season.
Yeah, it's not competing with the WNBA head to head. You're still a WNBA player, but this is your off season. You're playing this.
Well, maybe this international basketball thing they're doing isn't going to be during the NBA season except for the NBA season goes year round.
Yeah, it's just
I don't know when you're going to do this.
It starts in September. It ends in June.
So yeah, you've got basically a month. Don't even think about preseason. You got a month. Good luck.
Or October rather, it ends in June. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, if you can make it so that it's good and quality. Like the reason why those knockoff football leagues don't work is because it just isn't good football. But if you're going to say, hey, this offseason basketball is going to have good basketball in it and good players, I'll check it out.
I guess. I mean, yeah,
it requires less people to play basketball, so you can get better talent than you could if you were, making the awful.
I need more information.
Yeah, there's just not enough out there yet, which is why I'm like, I'm not going to shoot it down mentally until I get some more details, and then maybe I like it, maybe I don't like it.
So yeah, I guess we'll learn more about this as we go, but that's what he'll be doing. Oh, I just saw a thing. Bob Uecker has he's got a statue.
Yeah,
that's awesome. He was alive to see a statue of himself. I think that's cool. But people are putting flowers and 6-packs of Miller Lite all around.
I love that, man.
And there's a bunch of people hanging around there sharing beers and stories. So this is exactly what Bob Uecker probably would have loved. Just to have them all hang around, drinking some beers and remembering Bob Uecker. If you didn't hear, he passed away today at the age of 90. It was a very brief, but interesting UFC career that he had. He was killed in a match against Jake Paul. He will be missed.
Wait, oh no, hold on. I was like, wait, where are you going with this?
Way more interesting than cancer. I don't know.
It is, but yeah, the cancer actually happened.
Okay, fine. That's fine. So Bob Uecker, boy, he'll be missed, but I mean, at 90, we've seen everything he was going to do. You know what I mean? It's like, well, we've seen it. It's all right. Although maybe that wasn't true because, like I said, last summer he was trying to get behind the mic. He was trying to get on the broadcasts for baseball. So
maybe not.
Let's do this. It's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1905, Frank McGee scored 14 goals in the most lopsided Stanley Cup victory ever. 23-2 was the score as the Ottawa Senators won the Stanley Cup over the Dawson City Nuggets. Okay, there's some things you need to know about this. First off, in 1905, this was not like the championship. This was a challenge series before they even created the NHL. And the Dawson City team was from the Yukon Territory. And they had to travel 4,000 miles over 23 days by dog sled, ship, train, bicycle, and foot just to play Ottawa in a best-of-3 game series. So the Dawson City team was just dudes from the gold mining camps that were there at the end of the Yukon Gold Rush in Alaska.
You played a best-of-3 series all on the road.
Yeah.
Because you can't go back.
So in that last game, losing 23-2, I don't think anybody's surprised.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, it was a dominant. No. This should have never happened.
Yeah. The most tired team on earth played a series. That's what happened.
Yeah.
The most exhausted group of human beings.
After everything they went through just to get there, now you're just lighting them up, taking advantage of it. Really, Ottawa should be ashamed of themselves. This victory should be vacated.
That's hollow.
It's really bad. Number one Rattlers fan says, so I would think Bob Uecker is his two most famous lines were just a bit outside and must be in the front row. Yeah, that you are correct. I think that was those two. They actually sold some seats in that stadium for the Brewers for $1. They were $1. They're called Uecker seats. And you go find it, and it would have like this really bad obstructed view. And they'd be like, yeah, you can sit there for $1. Yeah, it's a Bob Uecker seat.
I love that.
Must be in the front row. No, he was truly an original. He was good. That was good. I'm out of show. I am totally out of show. That doesn't usually happen. I usually have a lot more stuff left over. Yeah. Oh, I do have some things that we probably need to alert people to. This is something we probably should warn the general public about. If you're in Denver, be on the lookout for a serial butt slapper. This dude is riding around on this little electric bike right here, and he's slapping women on the ass as he goes by. So, might want to look out for that.
Somebody should check that guy into the boards.
Yeah. Latina Leprechaun says, I'm sad to hear Bob Uecker passing away. I loved him in Major League. Of course, yeah, he was amazing in that. Here's another one. Be on the lookout. Another APB. Well, this is Florida. So in police in Polk County, Florida, looking for a man and a woman. Here's what they did. Kind of a Bonnie and Clyde thing, only not cool at all. So the woman goes in there and she poops on the floor right in front of everybody. She just poops on the floor in the middle of the store. Now, why the staff is freaking out and people are rushing over going, whoa, what are you doing? Pooping on the floor. The man he stole a bunch of stuff and then they both ran off.
It's ingenious, but also to the extent that you're doing that to commit robberies, is it even worth it?
Their nickname is Mr. Clean and Mrs. Dookie. And guess what he stole? Here's the irony of it. $500 worth of cleaning supplies.
Okay. That had to be on purpose.
Well, I don't know what
that you just.
By the way, if you're robbing the family dollar store,
could you just pick a bigger target?
That's what I'm saying. If you're going to go all out and drop a brownie right there in the middle of an aisle to distract people so your man can go run and grab stuff,
Have you tried a Staples, a Best
That's
Buy?
just so now you got to be on the lookout for that.
A World Market, perhaps.
Latina Leprechaun says serial butt slapper. Are you sure the suspect's not the moist one? I don't know, but if you see the moist one riding around on this little e-scooter, then yes, it's him. That's kind of cool looking little e-scooter.
That's the thing.
I kind of want one of these.
He's ruining that for a lot of people, because now people just see a person on an e-scooter and they're like, is it?
Yeah, but this is like it looks like a motorcycle with big knobby tires. It's actually kind of badass.
But is it the butt slap? Like, if you're riding it, he has to be apprehended before you get one of those, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I don't think the bike is called the butt slap.
No, I'm saying, will people wonder if it's you,
anybody
if
on
you're riding it, he has to be apprehended first.
Whose electric scooter is it I saw out there?
I didn't see one, no.
Oh, I'm going to investigate that. Anyway, yes, of course, Latina Leprechaun. The poop does end with a show story. Wait. No, just the other way around.
Sports bettors,